Look, I just want a link to share around. I mean, that's what I was gonna ask. If we have a link to share around, I don't know. I'll let you take care of that. All right, you're the host. I'm the guest. I'm not doing this stuff. You know.
All right, it is live from the Deep Web Podcast, episode 5, with yours truly, Can Synthra. And we have with us a double date of double dipped goodness. We have PZA, VHS Dreams, George Dervinigus, and Cody. How do I pronounce your last name?
Ooh, I like that you asked. That's Troglin.
Troglin.
Yeah.
All right, Cody Troglin.
It's
Well,
like
you pronounced my name again wrong.
I did not. I did not.
I'm not coming back. This is the last time I come in this show.
I did not pronounce it wrong at all. I started to, and then I backtracked and did it correctly. That's how you do it.
It's true. It's true. You just saved the day. It's true.
That's right. And on top of it, there's nothing more to mention. So I have with me two very talented producers. I have with me two very talented artists. And I think the first thing we want to talk about is Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer.
You think Ted plays a Paul Reed Smith?
I don't think he plays a Paul Reed Smith. I don't think he does. He's more of a Squire guy.
Who the hell is Ted Cruz? I'm googling it right now, actually.
He is right now running.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just saw the face. Yeah, no.
I saw
that face.
The face.
Yeah, I got it. The face.
The face.
So, anyways, no. You know what? I really do want to talk about something a little bit for a moment before we get into any more. I have been essentially educated properly as to the witch house scene now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I finally went through like that, and I'm not really happy with it. It's one of those things where like you go in it and you're like, it seems so cool, and then like you start getting into it and you're like, I want to back out. I want to redo. I don't want to.
I really like certain elements of Witch House. I don't like it's same with every music. So there's parts of it that's really sick, and some parts of it that's just, I don't know, we could do without. But I think Witch House is an interesting genre.
I think it's a fascinating genre as a genre, but it's. Go ahead.
Actually, I don't really get it. I mean, the last time I actually tried to hear, to listen to some Witch House was like 2 years ago when I was still looking into vaporwave and stuff, right? And all I got was slowed down dance tracks from the 90s with all the witch imagery and all, right? And that's what I thought it was, and apparently it isn't. I don't know. I mean, can you guys enlighten me? Because I'm not sure.
Well, it's a wide genre in that respect of what it can sound like. It's not as structured.
All right. So
I mean,
the whole thing is about the whole witchcraft and dark and occult thing on dance music, basically, or what?
Yeah, I think that's the aesthetic. I mean, it started off as a joke, as from what I understand.
Like vaporwave and synthwave.
Well, I mean, was synthwave really start off a joke though? I mean, I think it was people were serious about that. They were like serious about.
No, it's true. It's true. You are totally right. It started seriously and it became a joke. You're really right.
I have, but yeah, I just it feels like to me that I've met some really, really cool people in the witch house scene, but set aside from that, it seems like there's a lot of, like, I don't know how to explain it, like musical grammar Nazis in that whole thing.
Musical Nazis, that's what it is.
Yeah, I hate that shit, man. You know, if you want to be informed about music, that's awesome. I'm cool about that, and if you have strong opinions, I'm cool about that too.
Isn't that weird though that this thing happens in a thing like Witch House? I mean, it's like, I don't know. I would expect that from some, I don't know, psychedelic post-rock fellas, you know, but not from Witch House.
Yeah. Well,
It
fuck
does
rock
make a lot
scenes
of
too,
sense
though.
for that. Yeah, the psychedelic, like the feel behind like psychedelic music in Witch House is very similar. Like
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah,
Yeah, I think yeah, I just it feels like to me it felt like the guitar scene equivalent to electronic music. Like it's a lot like that. So I mean, I don't know. I signed recently a new guy. His name is Person, and he does like Witch House, but it's
No,
not Witch House. And
Jonathan
it's
Clark,
do what?
Person, Persyn.
Yeah.
That's me and him like went to school together. I got him
For
into
real?
this. Yeah, I got him all into Outrun and like vaporwave, future funk, everything. And I mean, he's made like electronic music, but that like shaped Person to where it's at right
Mhm.
now. That's really cool that you signed him. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he
So,
branded it as Vapor Grave, and I kind of
yeah,
was
that's
immediately
vaporwave will never
that's genius.
live.
yeah,
That's genius.
exactly.
That sounds genius, to be honest.
I know, and and what he was saying was the tagline: Vapor Grave will never live. That's
Yes.
to me,
Oh
I was like,
yeah,
that's awesome.
I
That's
was
I
so
saw.
cool.
Now I realize who you're talking about. I mean, I saw this line, and it just grabbed me. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's really
I
cool.
like it also because I don't have to be married to one genre when I have to market his music. That's
exactly.
going to be really cool.
Yeah.
He is Jonathan Clark. Like I've known this guy probably like 11 years of my life. I've known him a
Wow.
while. And, like he's always all his projects he's been in has always just been tight as fuck. And like now it's like Person's like I don't know. I got mad love for Person. I love Jonathan. He's
Yeah, some of them. I mean, some of them are like are striking. I mean, some of
yeah.
them are just like quite
Dude,
striking when you listen to.
Punishment. That song. What the fuck? Like
Oh man, have you heard the shit? I can't remember what the name is because on the file it just says Daddy on it because that's part of the title, but it's like something I forgot. It
yeah.
sounds like a an old school Marilyn Manson title, but it that was a fucking just that was a brutal
Yeah.
beat ass song, man. I mean, that was so good. It was so brutal and it was so smooth too.
I
I
remember
loved
when
it.
he was when we were like I remember when he's like recording a lot of that stuff and like he was just like I'm just gonna try to make all this like he was like basically like turning like electronic music into like uh I don't fucking like I can't really describe Person's music, but it was just it's cool to see his development and it's cool that you just said that. We're both from Arkansas.
That's so cool. That
Yeah.
is so cool. Like I said, I had no idea about any of that. We had a brief conversation. We've been talking the whole time back and forth, talking about like signing and stuff. And then we just had a brief conversation just now after I finally brought him on board. He was really nice. He's very smart and he was really nice. And but yeah, like I like his stuff because I'm going to be able to not have to just stick in one genre. I liked what I did with Achromatic Residues thing because he wasn't strictly Witch House either, and he wanted to try out like a strictly Witch House type thing.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of himself no matter what he does, so he's never going to be strictly something no matter what. But I really wanted to see what it was like in getting it in there, and it was a great success actually for our first real big release for the label. I'm going to be excited about this one too. I got a couple of other guys too that I'm kind of excited about. I got this kid named White Cube
Mhm.
out of Canada who's a meme rapper. And he does like satire stuff and it's hilarious, but it's not like Weird Al Yankovic stuff. It's clever.
So how do you find those guys? I mean, are you looking for them in SoundCloud?
I actively go after people, or they come and talk to me. White Cube talked to me, but I
Uh,
actively go after people. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
Facebook groups. That's how we all know each other, is because Facebook groups. We've all plugged.
yeah, it's true. It is true,
That's
and
all where it's at. And it's
I look at it differently. I just know, you know what I mean? I look at it like I'm an A&R man instead of looking at it like I'm a music fan.
yeah.
Pretty much, and that's it. And I'm just like, I like this guy. Let's go look
I
at.
do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're putting together a vapor trap compilation now on Pool House, and I went.
But pot for that, by the way.
Yeah, PZA is part of that. And yeah, the thing is that I don't listen to vapor trap, right? Well, not much. I mean, I really love the aesthetics, but I just find that it's it's very hard to actually find vapor trap. I mean, there's lots of people that just do either cloud rap or they just do trap, but they label it as vapor trap. But when you listen to it, you just don't feel this thing you felt when you heard about Black Bouncy, for example, you know. So I'm trying now to get songs like that, and it's real hard. I mean, it's real hard, and so I kind of widened the spectrum to go into a bit chill step, you know,
I
but
like.
not, yeah.
Did you say
You like
teal?
no chill step.
Oh, chill step. I feel. I thought no teal.
Chill step.
I was about to go rant about teal. I like his stuff.
Yeah, it's yeah, and the thing is that it's so I find it so hard to find actual good vapor trap, or at least what I consider good vapor trap, right? So the way I actually started doing it is going on SoundCloud and literally just finding music I like, right? And whether it fits with the theme or not, that's another matter. But I asked a guy, and he just pointed me to two or three names that he considers vapor trap. One is Zinzo the Trap Lord. He already has a track into the compilation. I don't know if you guys know him.
Nice name.
Yeah, yeah, he actually is. I love it. And the other guy is Sight. Um, and yeah, when I found these, you know, it starts popping up. All the other names are actually starting to pop up in the recommended, and I think they actually have favorited themselves on SoundCloud. And that's how I go by finding these talents to assemble for the compilation. And it's really hard, though. I mean, it's almost impossible, to be honest. This vapor trap compilation, especially, it's almost impossible to actually find 20 tracks that are, you know, really good.
But it's so rewarding when you do it. I mean,
It is.
you know, the truth is that you can only go so far by yourself, and that's just the reality of things. And the best artists usually came from these kind of these tight groups, you know, people who worked together and did these things that they had together and da 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 da. Da. That's where it's at. That's where it's not at, though, when you really talk about a lot of the internet music scenes, and that's what needs to really come around. There needs to be these tight groups, you know.
Yeah.
That's where I think that's where it is.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the thing is that if I wanted to, I mean, for the other compilation we're doing, the Summer Vapors Volume 2, right? I basically asked people on Facebook, right? I asked Phoenix, I asked Cat System Corp, I asked, you know, all these BB Brains or Brains. I don't know how it's pronounced. Nobody knows apparently. But yeah, I asked all these guys on Facebook, right, for the vaporwave for the vaporwave stuff. With Vapor Trap was a totally different story, you know. I mean, I had to go digging, but you know what? I actually enjoyed this a lot. I mean, I just felt like I find things that are just scattered, and I just kind of bring them all together in one place, you know, this compilation. I mean, it's really it feels rewarding to just do that as an act.
You should just let the music be, man. That's what you should have done. Stop with this business shit, man. Just
I'm
let
too
music be.
I'm too bossy.
I hate it. I don't hate people's opinions on things. I appreciate people's opinions, different opinions. I like that. I like being challenged. But I hate the dead end you deal with people who have absolute ideas about art. That's annoying.
Yeah,
It's not just annoying. It goes nowhere. There's no point
Yeah,
in
there's
having any
no
discussion like that.
there's no objective in art. It's completely all subjective. If what you
Exactly. And you want to know something? The modern art world. You know the Panama Papers. You know what I'm talking about? The leak. Uh,
no, yeah,
the in that one of the things that was kind of revealed was how much of the modern art world was essentially a money laundering racket. and
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Well, that
and
doesn't
I
even surprise me. I mean,
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's not surprising. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
essentially known, but this was something that where
yeah,
you could see the transactions. You know what I mean? You could see the activity
yeah,
and be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, wow, there. And when you think of it that way, I don't have any problem with that. Like, I have
I
zero
don't,
problem with that.
I don't have. I mean, no, seriously though. I mean, if you think about it, when I started making music, when I was a teen, still, I'm old now. I got some gray hair already. But
Do you
when I was a
really?
teen, no, yeah, I do actually. It's a sad story. We're gonna talk about it in my autobiography.
Well, I mean, you have a kind of a look though, where if you had a little salt and pepper, it would just make you look better. I think so. So, I mean, seriously, I
I,
think maybe a little salt and pepper for you would work. I
I
think.
don't know. So what was I saying? Oh, I just completely forgot what I was saying. Things just changed completely. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that I had this. I was obsessed with classical music and all, and I just couldn't get how people like. I loved Daft Punk, and when I realized that Daft Punk is basically almost completely based on sampling, right? I felt kind of like awkward. It was hard for me to digest. And if you fast forward like 10 years and you come to today, vaporwave, for example, which is well, some of it is like hugely sample based, right? And I
Yeah.
see people like whining about that, like, what is this? What did these people do? Oh, you just slow down songs. You hear this all the time. And the thing is that I've come to like appreciate art for what it is individually. I mean, I can appreciate a symphony for what it is and what it's trying to do. Like at the same time, I can appreciate a slowed down Justin Bieber song for what it's trying to do. I mean, it doesn't have to. I hate what I hate is that when people like compare those things, and they just like try to find which is higher and which is like lower in the scale of art. I think that's pretty much bullshit. I mean, I just don't.
I can get down. I can
You
get
know
down
what
with
I mean?
some modern Justin Bieber. I
Mm,
can get down with it. Some of it's good. Some of it's pretty good because it's produced by really good people.
Yeah,
That's
Jackson, Diplo, and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, man.
that one was
I
actually. I
mean,
mean, I like the song. Yeah, it's. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of these. Don't
but
you feel that this happens in small scenes, especially? I mean, people get so close together. I think because these people were kind of when you do a very specific underground genre, right? And you find other people who do something similar, you get to tie close with each other, right? And then
well,
this 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 thing is
I think
enhanced.
people. I think it really has to do. I think it has to do with just people, the way people's minds work. People
Yeah, that's
like
what
to
I mean.
stereotype. People like
That's
to
what I mean.
stereotype
Yeah.
jobs or certain kinds of
People.
industries,
Yeah.
and then we're social animals after we start embellishing more until we have reputations that precede whatever position we're talking about, and then you have people who want to enter it because they believe those things to be true. So that's when you have that. I mean, one of my biggest gripes is people's obsession with found art, uh, talent in music. We kind of we are under this tyranny of you have to be, if you're good, to be good, you have to be found art. It has to be found that way. It can't have been developed or polished that way. It's like we have a complete we
Yeah.
have a complete discount for people who are polished, and I don't really like that. It takes a lot of work to get there,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
if you've done it, you should be rewarded for that. You shouldn't be in any way, shape, or form not rewarded for it, and simply just because there's a tyranny of a certain aesthetic, a dictum of a certain aesthetic, and that's it, and
That's what I
people just
hate.
don't want to question.
That's
I
what I
hate
hate
that
too.
too,
Man.
man.
That's what I hate. And it doesn't take much thought to realize that this is actually happening, and to realize that I mean, it's obvious, right? I mean, art is about a life in people, right? And life in people have lots of layers and lots of uh, types out of which they can be expressed. I mean, you can't expect all art, for example, to just be about being virtuoso in instruments. or you can't expect all art to be about dance. I don't know. I mean, some people are really obsessed about this, about any single aesthetic, as you call it, or ethos even. That's also an important thing. About it's the thing with sampling again. It all goes back, even in the 80s, right? It all goes back into sampling. How much people did hate sampling in the 80s, right? At first, and then it became popular and it got accepted, and now we're in 2016, and still there are people who hate sampling, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that has to do with the ethos more, how this music is made, not so much about the aesthetics, but it's about how this music is made, and they're so adamant that the music has to be made under a certain process, and if it's not, then I don't know, they don't consider it art or whatever.
but here's the rub. Here's the rub, though. We need the mythos at the same time. We need that because, when you get a guitar and you play 3 chords on the guitar, and someone thinks it's magical because you did that. From one standpoint, it is magical. From one standpoint, it's not. It's not anything
I'm not
special at
disagreeing.
all.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that what you said about people trying to this dictatorship of a single aesthetic, right? I'm saying
Oh
there's
yeah.
also a similar thing about the ethos of how actually this music is made, and whether we like it or not, and even though sampling has actually entered the popular conscience, right? Still, the the old ideal of that you have to be like a virtuoso and things, that you have to play really good, I don't know, an instrument really good, right? And that's music. And you're just using samples. So yeah, it's music, but this but thing there still lingers, and I don't like that. I understand the why. I mean, it takes a long time for something to really cement itself in the public consciousness, right? So we can totally move on to the next step.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that, but I will have to say this. When it comes to, it's a valid point of view when you're talking about performance,
Yes.
because there is a market of people who do want to see someone twiddle with something and make the sound right then and there. Now you could, I mean, that on the electronic world, that's propelling forward in by light speed right now. People are starting to become performers on MIDI fighters and shit like that, and that's pretty cool. I think. I think
Yeah.
it is because it's like guitar playing. Then it's like they're like the new guitarists. And they're just like they're playing out the whole fucking thing like it's a guitar solo. To me,
Yeah.
that's just as complicated. That's just as complicated as
Yeah.
doing like Cowboys from Hell.
Here, bro. Come on now.
Widdly widdly wah. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's just as. Now, here's the thing. Now, here's the rub. It's not just as complicated though as playing Bach's Chaconne in D minor.
I agree.
it's
I,
it's not. It's
but
objectively not. Like
yeah, but here's the thing. Some people actually measure it by that. I mean,
I mean, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I think if that's what
people,
you're
you know what
into.
people can say. People can compare DJs with performers, with instrument performers, for example. They still do. I mean, I find it hilarious because we're in 2016, but people still actually do try and compare them, or compare what the DJ, an old school DJ, I mean, which just simply plays records and does not have uh, live music incorporated into it, right? And they still compare it with songs, and they said, "Oh, okay, well, the DJ just plays other people's songs." I mean, I just can't talk with these people, right? Because
I think they should be put in the same though. They should go up against each other because that would force both to go and up their game to make to because that's the thing. Like if you go to it's in America, I don't know what it's like in Europe, but in America, music scenes in towns tend to suck. I mean, in the sense of like these movements, these real strong, powerful movements. There's these places that are, of course, everywhere. I mean, I'm kind of talking absolute, and that's not true. But in the same time, as a business, playing out, going out to clubs and stuff like that, that circuit is not very. It's not very healthy as it used to be.
yeah,
And it could be more healthy if there really was people who are willing to be giving a product that was something that you would want to watch. You know, I mean, that's the whole thing. If there's this dude that plays like Yngwie Malmsteen on guitar,
Yeah.
if he goes to a bar and plays, man, he's going to get some people watching him because of that show. It's the show. It's the entertainment aspect.
Yeah.
If there's a dude who's spinning and he can do some crazy shit with it, you know, and he can like sample while he's spinning, and he's you know he's making music right then and there. He's spinning 4 decks, 6 decks. That's something to watch too.
That's a show. Yeah, exactly. That's what Jeff Mills does. That's a show. Yeah.
Exactly, and that to me is just as valid, and they should compete. I think you should, because I don't want to hear all on the Watchtower one more motherfucking time.
I just think that the comparison is just like, well, you can put everything to compete, right? Any kind of things you can imagine, you can just combine them and put them against each other. But I just think that I mean, making those comparisons I see on forums and stuff where people just fighting, you know, about what DJ is doing, what the guitarist does, and stuff. I just think it's just an invalid subject to begin an argument with. I mean, a DJ does something which is different, you know, and you can enjoy for what it is, and then a guitarist does something else, and you can enjoy that for what it is. And it's always those people. It's what you say. It always goes back to those people who want to impose a single ethos and aesthetic, you know. Which obviously is the people who just infest forums, basically, you know.
It's true. It's true. So, Cody, don't just sit in that corner all quiet.
What's up?
Oh, I'm not really calling you out. I just wanted to take a chance to speak deeply into the microphone again. But, anyways, I mean, how do you feel about the whole performance aspect and whatnot?
I don't know. It's like it's going to be the same scene within that always. Like, oh, the more technical, the more like on flash your guitar, and like saying you're running like 8 decks, 4 decks, wherever the fuck it is. Like, no, both aspects. It's not like, I don't know. It's music overall.
Oh no, I mean, like I said, I was using like an extreme example to like point to illustrate. I mean, I think if you were doing something more basic than that, but it was good, then yeah, I mean, it's valid. It's just as valid.
Yeah.
But that good, there has to be something to it. There has to be some point why someone wants to come and see you, you know? That's what I'm saying.
But what about production? What about this thing in production? I mean, people do slam vaporwave for it, right? I mean, for having a production values which are like basically very easy to do, right? I mean, that's not the secret, but that's not the bad thing. I mean, I don't consider it a bad thing, but the people do, you know, because again, they have this certain kind of like mentality about how art is supposed to be made, like you said before, and they just try to like, well, you know, impose it on you.
Forums have become such a double-edged sword, haven't they? They ruin art forums at one end, but the other end they really help people.
Well, reading something like that actually should make you like more eager to do stuff. I mean, when I see people being butthurt about sample use, about extreme sample use like vaporwave, I just want to push it to the extreme, you know, and annoy them. You know? That's why nobody invites me to their podcast anymore except you.
Do you are there other podcasts that have invited you? What were they? I gotta know.
No, that's what I'm saying. Nobody invites me except you.
I feel you. I mean, are you? Do you feel yourself to be a pariah in the scene? You're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good, Mr. Dervinicus.
I'm sick as fuck. What? I love it.
Say what?
Trans Am is sick. Like, that's like.
Oh yeah, it was, man. It was a real statement. I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Miami 2K15. What? That's I've got that in my mixtape in my car.
That's cool.
I love VHS Dreams, George.
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
You know.
I love your stuff too. I mean, the first time I heard you was through Karate King. He was the one who like recommended. I mean, I've seen your name all the time around, right? In the groups, but I rarely listen to music now because I don't have time, unfortunately. Yeah. And then when you had this release out with Karate King, Obviously, he like pitched it to me, and he says, "Listen to this," And I like your stuff because it's. I just find it weird. I mean, this whole thing with pizza and all. I don't know. I just that's what I like in music. I like music to be of fun as well. I can't stand the seriousness. The serious attitude.
Yeah, because people, yeah, there's a lot of people that take everything, like, you don't, first off, you take music, like, so serious and be, like, pretentious about it, no one's, like, it takes away from it, in my opinion, and I've
And the
always,
thing is, yeah, and the thing is, you can be serious about having fun,
yeah,
and that
exactly,
and that's the best actually. That's the
yeah,
best situation to be.
yeah, well, I mean, with a name like Pizza, I kind of have, and I feel like I'm a decently fun person, but with a name like that, I definitely have to show a presence of, like, let's have fun, it's a fucking pizza party, you know?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you
yeah,
would be
yeah.
the Michelangelo out of the Mutant
I would
Minds.
be the Michelangelo of vaporwave. Yeah, I said it.
That's a good one, actually. I
You
like
only
Whatever.
hear these
Shaka.
statements in these podcasts. You only hear these statements in your podcast.
Exactly. No,
That's what you're doing. I
So
know what you're doing. You're just inviting a self-indulgent artist like us all the time, and that's how you make numbers.
no,
I wish I had numbers. I don't have a whole lot of numbers. Um, I'm trying to grow it organically because there's so many other things that I have to pitch in front of people's faces all the time. So like for me, it's like the podcast would be one more thing, and I wouldn't want to like tip the scale, and people be like, "You're a spammer." But yeah, I mean, I wish I had numbers, but no, I just like doing this. This is people need to be able to connect and talk for
Yeah,
freely outside of the linguistic constraints of Facebook and social
yeah,
media
totally.
because it changes the whole spectrum of the communication. I'm
yeah.
gonna get all McLuhan on everybody. The media is the message, but it's the truth. It is, and it affects that. I think.
Yeah, it does. It does. I actually enjoy talking. I mean, sounds really bad, but no, I actually do because I'm just I'm just tired of the written interviews, right? Which I understand they're very easy to do, right? I mean, that would be
So, what
my
kind
way.
of doll do you use?
Well, don't get me started about that. Don't get me started about
Real
that.
to real.
Say what?
My dog is real to real. Like, keeping it real, dude.
Dude, so what VSTs do you use? Oh, I really like to use Massive and Silence, and it is kind of circle jerky, like all that shit is. It just gets so, and I hate that. I hate the
I'm
product talk so much.
the thing is that if there's an outlet about specifically about producing, I would love to like give them some I don't know inside info about how I produce stuff. But the thing is that when this happens in small, especially in small scenes like ours, right, or in synthwave and all, it just I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, somebody's gonna ask you, what are you using to make your music? But it has to stop there. I mean, I don't have to talk about this all the time. And now I've been approached by the Wave Cave, the new Wave Cave, and they want me to do an interview, right? And I was reluctant at first. Um,
Uh,
but then I told them I'm gonna do it if you ask embarrassing questions. That's what I said. And they agreed, so we're gonna do it. I don't know what the questions are yet, but if they are embarrassing enough, I'll do it. If not, I'm not gonna
no,
talk about it.
no disrespect to anybody in that whole outfit, but I would be interested to hear what the embarrassing questions would be because they're very
Yeah,
clean. Like they're it's a very clean interview style. Very like, you know,
yeah.
a little L7. So like I think I would like to hear what they're gonna say. Maybe I hope they come out and just potty mouth it. Just
I
hope
hope,
they just come
That's
right
nice.
the fuck out.
I hope,
Yeah.
I hope so. I don't know. Well, if they're not,
You ever eaten any pussy? It should be some shit like that, like
Look,
Could be.
that's what I said. I mean, the guy. I don't remember what he. That's I feel bad now because I'm stuck and I can't remember his name, right? But we talk many times on chat. I'm just stuck in his name is evading my perception right now. But anyway,
Are you
yeah,
talking about from the Wave Cave, from the Wave
yes,
TV stuff?
yes, someone
Is
from
it
the way.
is it Kindle?
No, it's not Kendall. It's the other guy.
It's I want to keep calling him his artist name. Give me a second. It's that cable guy, Caleb.
No,
Is it
I'm
Caleb?
gonna. I'm checking right now really quick. Anyway, the thing is that yeah, I mean we had he's a good guy, you know. There are good guys in there, and uh, oh, Brandon Hicks. You
Okay.
know this guy? Yeah, just
Brendan,
look.
yeah, he's a deep web artist. He's a deep web music artist.
Oh
He's
yeah.
Crystal Bear.
Oh, is he?
He's
Oh, that's
Crystal Bear.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, he's the one who approached me about the interview. Yeah, and he asked me. I said, you know, just ask something that I can reply in a way I can embarrass myself. That's what I said. And if they do, well, I do it.
Well, if he has, I mean, if he's around it, then there might be some edgier stuff. But I think I'm just suggesting right now that
I
they
don't know. It
ask
depends.
if you ever eaten any pussy.
The
They should ask. They should be like after that, like just just get real nasty about it.
Can I ask you something totally irrelevant, but just popped out? Why do you change the name and you didn't keep the most dangerous show on earth? Because frankly, I would appear to this show every day if its name was the most dangerous show on earth, and
Because
I would honor that name. I'm telling you right now, I pledge
I,
to honor that name.
I want because I'm going to be re-releasing the show pretty soon. But the reason why I stopped doing the show in the first place was because of dealing with other artists. It became really hard. People started to want a lot more of their hand on the project in the sense of editing and
Really?
what they wanted to say and what they didn't want to say. I mean,
All right.
and this is you know,
Yeah.
this is to someone who I deeply respect. I'm not going to mention who it was, but it's someone that I
VHS
still.
Dreams.
What?
Nothing. Didn't say anything. VHS
But
glitch.
I mean, for me, like there was one artist that I deeply respected. I was very excited about having the interview and stuff like that with them, and it turned into it was chopped up to where it was pretty boring. Now
Yeah.
that's cool for the artist. That was cool. But the
Yeah.
only reason why I had a personal problem with that was because I really didn't want, as a trademark, I didn't want a boring interview. I didn't want something that was straight up about
Mm.
just your art and that was it, and boom. I wanted to ask questions like, you know, would you rather your music was played for making love or animal fucking? And I wanted
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
Well,
go
you,
ahead.
you, the thing is that I mean I don't mind if artists do that. I mean I understand it to some extent. I definitely understand. I mean some artists, for example, might be afraid to speak about religion because they think, you know what, I might have, you know, religious fans and I don't want to lose them. You know.
Yeah, I
I wouldn't
understand. I
I wouldn't do
understand all
that,
that.
but I wouldn't do that, but I understand where I come from. You know, I mean, I can have respect for that. You know, I mean, especially if it's a young, an upcoming artist, they really, you know, they really care about the stuff. It's understand.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's
Like I said,
understandable.
I had no personal problem with the guy who wanted that done, like none at
Yeah,
all. And I did it the way he wanted me to do it, and it was fine, and I released it. And that's cool. That was cool. I didn't have any. I wasn't insulted at all. It was just that it got me thinking, and it got me because I mean, in his case, it was that he had family members he didn't want to have weird stuff, you know, associated with him, and
all right.
he didn't want his
Yeah.
employer
Oh,
to
okay.
see anything like that, which, like I said, I can deeply respect. The whole problem though was that whole perspective was valid, but my perspective of it was that I was trying to put the show on that had the standard to it, and so
Okay.
like I started realizing now the amount of artists are cut in half of people who are going to be able to even do it like this,
That
and
is,
it became crazy.
yeah. You know that's cool of people that they want to like keep things private and all, but I don't think you can get really far as an artist like that.
I think you know what I think the formula for success is very individually based. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but maybe someone else can because they did it a different way.
Yeah, but you always reach a point. I mean, you can move on like that, but you always reach a point where the people who actually stand out, the people who can stand the test of time, are the people who actually talked. I mean, the people who were not afraid to
Don't get me
stand
wrong.
up for things. I don't know.
I'm in your school of thought. I'm a member of that school. I am. I think you should be as honest as possible and trying to like let your freak flag fly, and then the true people who like that will be better fans for you.
Yeah,
They'll stick by you.
that's the bottom end. I mean, it's mostly about the fans that they actually like. Uh, they're gonna stick by and but I do understand that people want to keep it like people might want to keep quiet and just do their music, and they don't want to
Yeah,
like go out and
this
say controversial stuff.
this guy was this guy was a sweetheart. You know what I mean? He was a very well-spoken, very nice,
Yeah,
gentlemanly type of guy. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I totally understood what was going
yeah,
on.
yeah. It's understandable. It's understandable.
I thought you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
Me?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You.
I didn't recognize.
You better recognize.
Well, I didn't. I'm sorry.
You better. You better. You better. You bet.
I better. I
When I
better. I
when I
better.
say when I say I need you, you say you better. You
I
better.
need-
You better. You bet.
I better. Or you better need me. Or we need each other. We all need each other.
Well, it's you better bet your life, or I'll cut you. Yeah, I'll cut you just like a knife. You better. You better. You bet. It's the Who. The Who. You better. You better. You bet. When I say I love you, you say you better.
I
It's a
need a
great song.
vocalist. Are you in?
I'm in, man. I'll do. I love doing vocals. Actually, I take my singing seriously. I really do. That's for my stuff. That's why my stuff is taking so long because I'm on my release. I just made a new thing where I'm just going to put instrumentals out for free. I'm just going to start pumping them out. I've got a lot in backstock. Just going to let out.
Yeah.
But my stuff, the actual stuff that I'm going to release is going to be vocal music. So vocal based, or it has vocals and stuff. So that's why it's taking so fucking long. Just getting those right, just like that.
Cool.
Feel
That's
you.
cool.
I'm doing some vocal stuff for PZA, but I probably won't release it till the fall.
I would be excited to hear that.
Yeah, it's.
Mm, nice.
I don't really. I'm not going to describe it as anything. I'll just let it be as what it is when it comes out. It's not cloud rap or anything because there's a PZA album out there called Calling All Creeps, and it was like whenever I was rapping on it. But I'm going to be singing more on this one, I think. Yeah.
Those are very stylish headphones you have on.
Thank you. I just got them like recently.
Very nice.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're not that nice. They're just. They're
JVC.
JVC's. JVC's baby. They're not
Hell yeah.
special, but they work.
Sir Vega.
They fucking work. But yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to be putting another tape out soon for Crystal Bear. You know, all that good stuff.
Hell yeah.
So what's up
What color are
with
the cassettes?
these cassettes are not going to be okay. So here's what happened, right? I put out Achromatic Residues tapes, and I had this bright idea, where I would put out two colors, and it would be one would have a bonus track on it for the tape, and the other one would have another bonus track on it. And then you could, of course, get the DL code, and you can get all of them digitally. And that was the idea. And then I got some backlash for that because people felt like they were gambling. They didn't know which one they could get. So, but the whole point was it was supposed to be like a surprise. Like that was the whole point.
Yeah.
You know, like
that was the point. And people, well, they should have like read the fine print or some shit. Like.
Yeah, like I said, it was just it was supposed to be fun. It was like, you never know what you're going to get. You'll get it digitally. You get all of them, but yeah. So this one I'm just going to do like a melange of colors, I think,
Nice.
more than anything else. And I'm going to do this a little differently. I've lived, I've learned. I'm going to keep going with something that I've learned from the last project and move on with it. I'm going to be making games though per release very
Nice.
soon.
Hmm.
That's going to be the new thing that we're doing. I'm going to be making a Ouija board for Agrammatic Residues
That's
album,
right. That's
That's
great.
sweet.
and we're working on a tabletop RPG game for Crystal Bear's release.
Fuck yeah, that's sweet.
No,
Yeah,
that's a great idea you
Can
have.
you do
yeah.
can you do like a Pizza Sims for whenever I release?
Fuck yes, man. I I
That
don't
would
know
be
how I would.
sweet.
I don't know how I would do it, but White Cube wanted to do a Morrowind mod where like his
Okay.
music just got played the whole time in it.
Cool.
But I don't know. I still got to figure out, like, when it comes to that type of stuff, I got to figure out how to package it legally without
Yeah, it's really.
reproducing.
No, you can. Well, when it comes to something like this, like the Morrowind thing you said, uh, well, the mod belongs to the guy who makes it, basically. You will only push the mod. It will only be a download, and they would have to have the game already, right? That got nothing to do with you. I mean, they will have to own the
Yeah, but
game already. So
I
you
just don't
just
want them to exchange money for it. That's the whole thing.
oh,
I gotta
okay.
have the transaction for something else, and then have
Well,
that kind of like for free.
what if this is a bonus or something? You could do that as a bonus. I don't know.
I think so. I can make a bundle. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I could technically price it like a bundle, and technically all you're buying is maybe like the physical case that the whole thing comes in, and then the thing comes for free. I don't know. I'll figure something
Yeah.
out with it. But I'm thinking something like that. But I really want to do for my release. I'm making a pack of tarot cards. So and I've got a couple other guys that I'm still trying to figure out what kind of game entertainment thing
What
that they're gonna come with theirs.
what would you do? What would you do for VHS Dreams?
VHS Dreams. I would.
Oh my
You
god,
know
we
what I
need
really would do?
a
I would.
night racing game.
Dude, I would.
Fuck.
Like really, what I would do if I had a deep web release for VHS Dreams, I would put out a VHS based game like Nightmare or Atmosphere that came out in '91 or something like that.
Ah,
I would get a
yeah.
backdrop, get costumes, get all kinds of shit, and make sure it gets wobbly a little bit, and make that, and then make the tapes, and then I would get the board manufactured, and then make very few pieces, and then make kind of a game around it.
Well,
I mean,
that sounds
that's
that
that's
sounds
what I
great.
would do.
Actually. That sounds great. You know, because I have this idea. I mean, my next VHS Dreams album is gonna be like it's gonna be kind of acid house. Not really like acid house like per se, right? It's gonna be uh like 89, 1991, these years of like proto house stuff and new beat, and stuff like that. It's gonna be a bit like the KLF and bands like that and of that time, right? And I was thinking I want to do something like a board game that has a club theme because the whole thing is gonna be like again it's gonna be like a club theme. And I don't know. I was thinking like you could have the DJs, you could have the clubbers, and you know how in clubs, and especially in the '90s, in the clubs, there was always like, there was always stereotypical guys. There was the guy who was on pills all the time. There was the guy who was selling the pills all the time. There was this hot chick. There was this lame chick that was trying to fit in. I mean, all these people
The
that
ugly one,
all these people all
so
these
and so.
all these people. It was a dancer. It was a good dancer. All these people though, they were in every club. It was like that. These people existed, And I was thinking of like, I don't know. Well, the first idea. I mean, it's kind of a lame idea. I just had like as a blueprint. I had in my head a chessboard, but the pawns are like modeled after all these characters. Of course, I don't want it to be like that in the end, but I just had an idea of. I don't know, a board game or something. I don't know. I just struck this idea. It's weird, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's a great idea. For me, it's going to be the official position of deep web music. I mean, that's going to be the whole thing. Like we're going to have that with every release that comes out because I mean, for me, the whole point is just to make artists money. That's my whole job. Like
Yeah,
that's what I want to do. That's my passion. I like paying. I like creating a little economy with
that,
people that.
that's why I started Pool House as well. I mean, the real reason was uh, I just felt that artists need to be paid. I mean, at least a bit, you know. I mean, it's so funny though because I sent. I mean, you know, after a while, every album is, you know, the hype is going down, so the sales also go down, right? It's obvious. So I just send them like I might send them like $20 or $30, right? And they're like, wow, you know, thank you, you're my savior. 'Cause they have this kind of attitude, you know, and I'm like, okay, I just sent you $30, you know, it's not much. I'll try, you know, I'll try to promote it and send you more next time, you know. And they're like, thank you, thank you. So to me, this says that in vaporwave at least, right, people don't pay the artists, and I just wanted to like try, and it's not easy though. I mean, you know that vaporwave basically does not sell. I mean, people are so hostile against paying for digital. I understand that, but things like, I mean, I always put the albums of the artists like I put a minimum price, a very small one, like $1 or $2. Um, but I do that because at the end of the month, if 20 people buy this and the artist gets sent $20, right? It's the best feeling the artist has. It's just great. I don't know. I like paying them and I like how they react to that. You know, I mean, you can see how happy they are to just get $20. It's important
Yeah, I feel you,
for an
man.
artist.
Yeah.
I feel hardcore on that. I love doing that. I like, you know, the big thing for my label is that we do A&R, and that's that and paying people. Developing artists and paying them is like the two biggest things that I want to do because I've lived a very tumultuous life with music and trying to become a musician and try to get paid and things like that. And I feel like I've come to a place where I know I can sustain myself through music. So now I want to help people get somewhere with it when it comes to their stuff. You know, I mean, I think that's a great feeling for me. It's awesome feeling waking up knowing that like I make money with music. That's what I do. You know, either I
Yeah,
teach it or I get paid to
yeah,
perform it or something like that. I love that feeling, and I want someone to feel that way too. Like I really do, if that's what they love to do.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, for me at least on a personal level, I didn't have anyone to help me make a living out of music, right? And I feel good that I actually like help other people do that, you know, because I know how it is when you don't have anybody to like, you know, to like push you forward. So if I push someone forward, I feel good about it, you know, because I feel that they have something I didn't have, you know, and I feel good about it, you know. I think
Yeah,
I believe I'm at least making it a bit easier for them, and that's a good feeling.
yeah, it's true. No, I'm completely down with what you're talking about, man. For me, it's just a cool feeling. I that's why I keep scheming. That's why I scheme all the time, man. I'm just always trying to hustle some more money for people. Like it's just the whole thing. Because the money I get for the label goes back to the label. I mean
Yeah.
that's the thing. It just goes back to buying more supplies. It's essentially just a supply account, an equipment account
It's
of buying
difficult
like
though. It's really difficult these days. I mean, I don't know. People are just buying less and less music. I feel I might be pessimistic. I don't know. Or it might happen only to me or to RSR. I don't know what you have to say, but what's your opinion about that?
what's are you asking me or
Yeah, I mean,
Cody?
both of you. Tape sales have dropped. I think. I mean, I'm looking at big labels like Dream Catalog. I see how long it takes them to sell out their copies, which once they just sold them out within like 2 or 3 days, and now it takes them like a week. And I'm looking at Pool House as well, right? How it takes it much longer now to actually have all the tapes sold out. And then the same thing happens in Future 80s Records, where I work with them now. I mean, I'm in the AR department and all that, and I see the inside, you know, and I mean, it's obvious to everyone, though. Even a fan can actually have a closer look, and realize that
Well,
sales are it's harder to push physical and digital, but it's hard to push physical as well. So I don't know why it happens, but it happens. I don't know. I don't know if it's a curve that is gonna come upwards
we'll
again, or it's
we'll
just like
we'll go on with your bad self, Cody. You go first, and then I'll give my answer.
yeah. Do you
Okay.
notice anything like that? I mean,
Um. Well, I don't like. I think it's more like you're always gonna have like a wave, like
I think so.
get it, and where it's like always like
Ah.
yeah. There you have it. I'm done. No, it's
I'm
always
gonna
gonna be
skip it.
it's always gonna be fluctuating. I think it's like you'll go down, then you'll go up, then you'll go down, you'll go up. But I think like when you go down, it's not gonna be as down as once as where you once were, and when you
Yeah.
go up, it's just gonna keep
Hmm.
going up. In my opinion, I'm looking at it as a very
I agree.
optimistic person, as like
I,
watch it like it will grow if you just gotta keep doing it. That's all there is to it.
yeah, I
I
agree with your thought. I mean,
I I have the my position is that it's closed mouths don't get fed. So for me, like if something's not selling, then you got to hustle harder. That's how I feel about it. It's always back to you. To me, it's and if you're fine with it, if you're fine with your output, then whatever. I mean, I'm not judging anybody, but for me, if if tape sales are dropping, then evolve or die type of thing. You got to figure out another way to either
yeah.
package them, market them, or go to another media or invent your own. You know,
At
I
the
mean,
very
that's
at the very end, you are right. At the very end, it's what you can just sit there and cry about it. I mean, you have to, like you said. I mean, I don't know. Let's say that vaporwave dies, right? I know people talk about it all the time, but let's just say that vaporwave dies in
paper grade
2000.
will never live.
Yeah, there you go. See, it's very relevant. No, I'm just want to say that if vaporwave dies in 2018, right? I'm just saying, like, I'm just putting this out of my ass just for the argument. Let's just say vaporwave dies in 2018. I mean, well, there are things you can do. That you can either just sit there and just cry about it and just insist on it, or you can evolve
Yeah, I
somehow. I
mean,
mean, yeah,
that's the name of the game, man. We've
it
taken for
happens.
granted
Yeah,
we've
it
taken for
happens.
granted the 20th century being a status quo for music business, for however you want to define what music business is. We take the 20th century as like this is the way it's always been. Well, no, that was not the way it was always has been. That was a high point because of a meeting, an intersection on a curve between technology and the art, and they keep moving. Those curves will, or those points will keep moving, and eventually they stop intersecting, or not center. They stop colliding into each other, and they go different directions.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it, man. I mean, I've said this before. I think I said this when I talked to Ransford, who, by the way, I'm still working on his EDM remix. It's pretty good. You should hear it. But um, when I was telling him, the thing is that I totally forgot what I was talking about.
You were talking about that
uh,
guy that.
but but yeah, no, I mean my overall thing is that it will drop because it's a limited media. Eventually, no one's going to want it. There's just a hype around it right now because it's just enough of remembering, or it's a strange artifact to some people that they want to have it. But eventually, no one's going to buy them anymore.
Everything. Yeah, I mean, everything that starts at some point ends as well, and this happens to, I mean, everything, right? I mean, is there a genre that has survived exactly as it was in the beginnings? I don't think so. I mean,
I think punk somewhat has.
yeah.
It
Well,
somewhat has.
the thing is, I'm not so sure. Yeah, some things. Look, I mean, people still make write classical music. People still write rock music very close to the classic rock that defined the late '60s and '70s sound, right? But I mean, they're not dead, but at the same time, they're not in the heyday. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Uh,
and the
Everything
ones
comes.
that are
Yeah,
getting anywhere with it though have a product. They have something that's cohesive and it's reliable and it's there and it entertains people and people want it. That's so
mhm.
important. That is so important. It makes me so sad to see so many producers who are really talented who just get involved in this found art ethic where they just want to be found by somebody and they just want to keep doing it until someone discovers them, and it's like
No, no,
no,
no, no,
go out there,
no.
market yourself, make yourself interesting,
Yeah,
have
exactly.
something that people want, not just your music, because unfortunately here's the rub, man, of 2016. music is free everywhere you go. It's you got to have something else with it, and the music has to enhance things now, and you have to have an activity of some kind.
Which is a good thing, in my opinion. I mean,
I think we lost
yeah,
Cody, by the way.
yeah. I noticed that he's gone.
Let's see. Let me check to see what's going on with him. Everything just froze up on my computer. Okay, so he's probably restarting it.
All right.
Cool. But yeah, I mean, for me, I think that I think people should work to try to make a living for themselves, unless they have a. I mean, if they have a job, that's cool. I'm not judging anybody, but the ones that don't have a job, or the ones that really want to put their life into it, I think they should put their freaking life into it. You know,
Yeah.
they should market themselves, make a good image for themselves, and try to think of things to sell to people. We aren't, you know, just because when we have labels, we don't just have to sell media that has the music on it, like a CD or a cassette. We can sell so many other things because we own. We don't own, but you know what I'm saying. We're working with properties that aren't just musical. We have images and pictures and brands and names and concepts. And to me, that's what kills me about synthwave, is that in synthwave, it's so high concept. It's so aesthetic when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But that is all that. The only way that stuff gets conveyed is via text, and that's it. The music is supposed to tell the story, but that's all subjective.
What I don't like in synthwave is that it's disconnected from a human element, in a sense that, I mean, who are these people? I mean, they're just logos, you know, logos making music. I don't, and then they wonder why the majority of people out there don't identify with it. How can they identify with the logo? I mean, you can have a great story, a great, a great fictional like background and all that, and you can have a great music as well and great coherence in music. And I think there's good music in synthwave, right? I don't think it's all bad. I'm highly critical about it as a genre, but I think there's great music, great artists in there that actually have something to say, but they just get stuck in this. I sit behind my studio and I make music and I try to speak purely through instrumental music. I mean, I don't know. You need to step up. You need to like brand the whole thing, and above all, you need to brand yourself as a human. I mean, as a person, as a personality, as you know what I'm saying, right? As an individual.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Let me just interrupt for just one moment and make sure that Cody's levels are back in line, because they changed. Say something for me. Hey, we're good. Okay. So yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying. I completely agree. Here's the thing. I think that in synthwave, I think all those concepts that are floating around could really be expressed through other medias and could be packaged and sold to people, and you're not being a greedy bastard by doing it. You're giving someone something, and your music is enhancing whatever that thing is. And I think synthwave is pregnant full of that kind of stuff, and no one really does it because it's still under the tyranny of this found art bullshit, where everyone's just like, I'm gonna put on a bandana on my head, and I'm gonna do this stuff and put on some 80s gear, and I'm just gonna be as fucking 80s as I can be until someone discovers me. And it's like, that's so passive.
And that's someone, and as if that wasn't enough, that someone is basically goes as high as a new retro wave and nothing else. I mean, that's the highest ambition there is. I mean, it's just, we're not getting anywhere. I'm telling the guys that we're just not getting anywhere like that. And but you see, what I notice in synthwave now is that as a genre, it just becomes so inbred, and well, that's a bad thing. The good thing is that individuals begin to like stand out of that. I mean, you see, if I may interrupt you for a bit, you see dark synth, how big is like becoming. I mean, it's not mainstream, but it's becoming like it's growing, right? And even I believe that even Miami Nights and Meets Murder, I mean, they're gonna like grow, even though they, in my opinion, they still lack this star element I said before, like that it's you, people identify with you, and not just your music. Still, they favor individualism rather than putting themselves under a scene, right? I mean, you have to be what you are and uh, let people say that you are part of that scene or not. I mean, but if you put yourself below the scene and you just put the concept of the scene above you, right? There's no individualism, and you're not gonna stand out anyway, and you're not gonna do anything. You're just gonna be a slave of whatever stage the scene is at, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think this. I think just first of all, marketing yourself is a completely, again, subjective thing. But most of the time,
Yeah.
unless you're lucky or unless you have something that just kind of is intangible, most of the time it's a verb, though. You have to do something. You have to change things. Freddie Mercury wasn't Freddie Mercury. He had to invent this whole thing. He had a voice the whole time, but
Yeah.
he had to invent the rest, and
Yeah.
that's what worked. And I want to mention something real quick because I'm really proud of this. You see this carafe right here? You see that design right there? My daughter did that on my carafe, and I'm very
That's
proud
awesome.
because it looks like a Jean-Michel Basquiat type of thing. She completely defaced it, and I kept it because I like that.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks awesome.
She's going to be a modern artist and launder billions of dollars.
Dude, conceptual art's where it's at, bro.
Exactly. Making some money for the Koch brothers.
They're so great. They're so good in this country. Let me tell you.
Tell me.
I don't
Tell me.
want to tell you.
Tell me all about it.
If you don't know who, we're in 2016. If you don't know who the Koch brothers are.
I know that they rule a group called the Illuminati.
Yeah. And Prince was a sacrifice to the Illuminati to keep all of us safe.
So was David Bowie. And
Lemmy.
Exactly.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
And that's why Prince is dead, because he spoke against them.
Exactly.
In unison, exactly.
I would have loved to have seen Prince at work, though, in a studio. I would have
Yeah.
loved to have seen that.
I would have loved to have been able to work with him. That would have been it'd be crazy.
Actually, you know who my fantasy voyeur thing in the studio would have been? Michael Jackson. I would have loved to see Michael Jackson make Thriller.
Oh
That would have
my
been
God.
amazing.
I have exactly the same thing. I mean, I was sure you're gonna say Thriller when you started saying that. I mean, Quincy Jones in there and Michael Jackson and them working on mixing this. I'm really interested in how they mixed that as well. Not just how they managed to record everything, but just how they mixed that afterwards. I mean, it's just magical,
Oh yeah. Well, they had the best guys there. I mean, Quincy Jones was like shipping synths down there all the time, drum machines, sitting down Fairlights, like just rolling stuff out there. It would have been awesome.
This is something I miss from my life and my career, if I can call it like that. I don't work with guys in studios, right? And I mean, the internet has enabled us to make tracks with collaborations with other people, like from the internet. Um, but the studio experience is like, I don't know. I miss that thing. I'd like to make collaboration with people, like go. Well, not in a studio. Go in their house. Just go to their house, their home studio, their bedroom studio, or whatever. Just make music there together. I mean, this is a totally different thing, and I've done it in the past when I used to make trance music, right? And it's such a great feeling, because you just bounce ideas, back and forth with people. You're just having a laugh. It cannot be compared to the experience of just collaborating from a distance through internet. It's so. I mean, these our scenes that are born online have this thing, unfortunately, that because we're based online mostly, and we're in totally different, we're located far away from each other. We don't have this chance to actually meet with each other and make stuff in the studio together and all. I would really love to do that.
You like to visit some people's homes and go inside, watch them sleep
In their bedroom.
In their bedroom.
in their bedroom.
That's what I said. I was
understand.
talking about the bedroom,
I understand. I make my music in the bedroom.
Can I come to see you?
You can. I sleep in the nude. You can look at my dick.
All right.
DJ.
But yeah, no, I think it would be cool. But I got to go to a studio and record a little EP for a band I was in one time, and it kind of sucked actually. It just gets this hurried thing to it. I mean, that studio experience of like say Michael Jackson, that's one of those one in a million things where it's just like, you know, you can sit there and discuss a
Yeah.
layered
Well,
synth voice,
you can do
you
that.
know.
You can do that in some guy's own studio. I mean, you don't have to like
You
go in a
could.
rented studio. I guess the rented thing, the kind of sucks, yeah, because you're pressured with time, and time is money and all. Um, but actually, you can find these videos. I've got some videos in my personal profile which you can find. They are old, and we're making a hardstyle song with a friend, right? And it's just so ridiculous. I mean, it's unfortunately it's in Greek, but but I've got some key phrases. I've translated them into English, right? And you know, I'm just everything goes so fast. Within 2 hours, we just had this a kick-ass idea, you know, already in the works, you know, and you don't do that online. I just don't know. I mean, it's not the same thing, you know.
I socialized too much. So every time I collaborated, I had a little mini studio at one point. I have one now, but I had a much more humble one then. And the what would happen every time I would have someone come over and we would collab, it was we would get high and drunk and then just talk. That's it. That's all that would happen.
Yeah,
It
I
was-
know, I know that. That's true. That's true. I know that. Everybody will
like
agree with that.
you gotta get on that thought process of like we're making music, and it's not. I mean, it's not just you. It's like you gotta get another person or who all you're collabing with. If you're in like the studio setting, you know, it's like
yeah.
everybody has to get on that mind, like that
Yeah,
track of like we're making music now,
yeah,
because it will just turn into like you're just like because I mean I've played in bands, I've been in all kinds of different studios. There's a studio here in Fayetteville I like go to every day. All my friends run it. I run their online PR. It's called Let's Talk Figures. Shout out to them.
Say
But
it again. Say it again for everyone to understand. Let's plug it. Let's get it
I'm
out
sorry.
there.
Let's Talk Figures. It's
Let's do it.
they're my pals from Conway, and they live in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and they run that. And I'll go in there and hang out, and me and Bob will like fuck around on some stuff. But what I see in it though is that like it's always we have to get on that track of yeah we're fucking making a song instead of just like all right how's your day going, have you ate today, do you want to get food, you know what I mean, just like
Yeah.
do you know?
really pointless
I might
conversation.
I might be able to give you a tip about that because we actually did the same thing. I mean, we were trying to get together to make a song, and after we managed to do that, when the other guys found time and they could do that, we just ended up like for a whole weekend talking about shit, you know, not about the song at all. Um, but I could give you a tip about that. The tip is that you should start making the song and get really hyped about it before they show up. I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen that it actually works, and I mean, I'm calling the guy, and while I'm already making the track, you know, and I'm like, dude, come over now, because I'm already making the track, you know, and I need you, and he just jumps in, and it's funny because I'm sitting there making a song, right, and he's sitting next to me, and he says, "Oh, you know, did you hear what this guy did?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You know, for somebody from the town," and I'm like, "Oh, he just did that. He had
Yeah.
he had a car he had a car crash, you know, and he was drunk." And I'm like, "Really?" And meanwhile, I'm just, you know, adding beats, you know, and then he's like, "Yeah, you know," and then he stops, and then I'm like, "Okay, do you like this crash here? Do you like this kick?" He's like, "Yeah." Okay, let's move on. I mean, and and the thing is that uh, you get through this process, you know, and after you get through that, he hops aboard, you know, he hops aboard naturally, and he just starts talking about the song. I've got these videos on my profile because you guys check it because I'm li-
I've seen that. You were speaking Greek though, right?
yeah,
The
I
whole
was
thing in
speaking
English,
Greek,
right? Yeah.
unfortunately,
I've
but the
seen
thing
that.
is that but there are some yeah, I mean the good phrases I think I've actually translated them in English. I'm not sure if I haven't, I should actually.
You were doing
Um,
some claps in there and stuff. You're recording some of those.
Oh well, I have these, yeah, and I've got some stuff where we make this song, and I'm sitting there making this song, and this guy is really happy. He's like, oh, here's the breakdown, and the guy will have taken so much LSD, and he's gonna see this and that. And I'm just making music, and he's behind me, and he's like talking about, oh, he's gonna see this and that, and then he recommends me that I should change the preset and use another preset because with a former preset, you know, he's gonna see, I don't know, he's gonna see triangles or whatever, but if I use the other one, he's gonna see like better colors, and I'm like, what? You know? Oh, all right. I mean, if the second preset gives the LSD user a better experience, I'm gonna add that. You know, I mean, it's so ridiculous. You know?
It's hard for me to work with people. I can't. I'm not a very. I'm like creatively. I'm not very sociable. Like I'm not. Like I like talking to people. I like hanging out with people. But like I hate creating with people. Like,
it depends on the person for me. It's
totally.
If it's someone that's like, you know, like a like-minded person, like George, if me and you got in the studio, son, you know, or me and you, John, either of us, any of us, all three of us in the studio, I feel like would be like, yeah, I would like to do that. That would be fun because we can get on that track and wouldn't just be like, you know, kind of like what we're doing right now, but realistically, we'd be making music. But this is what we're doing right now.
It would kick ass. It would kick ass. I mean, I'm very. The problem with me, and I'm trying to cut this down. The thing I'm doing is, when I talk about collaborating, I actually mean I got an idea, and I know exactly how I want it, and I want the other guys to do exactly what I told them to do. So I complete my idea as I like it, you know. and I actually, yeah, I do that. I mean, my nickname is Hitler in the studio, bro. for many years, people. Either were like, what are you gonna actually collaborate with Hitler? You know, I know from other people telling me that they actually talk like that about me behind my back. But yeah, the thing is that I'm seriously trying to cut it down because it's not good, and I'm trying to, like, you know, let the other guy do this whole thing, and it always works better, obviously, you know, instead of just being a perfectionist, just asking people to do what the hell you want them to do. But you know what? I always tell them, it's VHS Dreams featuring you. It's not you featuring VHS Dreams, so I'm gonna tell you what to do, you know?
There goes Hitler. Yeah, I'm completely unsociable. Like I am. I'm one of those people that just like give me some time and I'll come back with something. I'm a weird worker when it comes to that. Like it's hard for me to mess with people. Like it is. I'm not judgmental at all. I'm one of those people that just recognize something and therefore I try to adapt to it. But yeah, it's really hard for me to do that, to work around. But you guys seem pretty cool. I've tried to collab with a couple of people where they wanted to talk about, like, you know, what the, like, metadata about it. You know, they want to talk like metadata, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. Just show me the song first, because I don't even know what it sounds like yet. We're talking about, like, you know, kilohertz and shit. Like, stop. Let's just get into this. Let's do this.
Is it 432?
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, come on. Let's just get.
You know what I hate? You know what I hate? When I say to someone, you know, just send me your song, you know, I just want to hear what you got. And they send me a fucking, like, I don't know, a lossless, completely lossless 10 gigabyte, 99 million gigahertz, 24,000 beats preview, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna sit and download your song for 2 hours, okay? Send me an MP3, 128.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I send someone an MP3 and they're all like, "Oh, go ahead."
Yeah, no, I just want to hear the song, you know, and I'm not even gonna hear all of it. I'm just gonna skip it, and I can tell you, no, yeah, that you know, it clicks with me, you know. I don't need to hear your completely lossless, amazing, divine mix down, you know.
I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna listen to that later, you know.
Yeah, I completely don't give a shit about that stuff, man. Like, I just don't understand that. I just don't get it. It's going to be played through a phone on MP3. That's at the end of the day, this is what's going to happen. Someone's going to be jogging or lifting weights or riding in their car to fucking MP3. That's the
Yeah,
reality.
I've actually broke down this whole thing about the beats and the beat rate. I've actually broke this whole thing down because in a conversation we had when we did this compilation on Future 80s about the Love Affair. Have you seen that? The Synthwave Love Affair?
I saw the project as it came out. I never listened to it though.
Yeah, well, you can tell what it is basically from the title. It's just many guys coming together and making some love songs, synthwave love songs. Anyway, the thing is that I got so many uh, songs, right? And some guys had it like extreme beat rates and all, and I'm like, we don't need that, you know. I mean, scientists know that the classic 16-bit 44 is for WAV files, right? It's more than enough, right? And there are occasions where you can use more in order to achieve something, but that is, I mean, making some retro sounding stuff with a digital DAW is certainly not the occasion, you know. Uh,
Yeah,
and it's like,
you know what the most annoying thing is though is when you get something like that and it's all like that kind of like audiophile bullshit, and then you listen to it and it's like trash mix.
yeah, I mean,
Yep.
it's not just it's not amazing. Maybe the mix is perfect, but the samples that you use and the goddamn VSTs are digital, you know, and they're just lame. I mean, and they sound good, but they are lame scientifically talking. You know, when you talk about beat rates and all that. I mean, you don't
Georgia
need that, you know. And
science.
I had to
That's
sit there and explain. I had to sit there and explain a bit, you know, and I just you know, people were asking why, you know, why do you mix in 16-bit, why this, why that, and then I go to Ryan. Ryan is the boss of the Future 80s record. I go to Ryan and I say, look, just go write a goddamn message and say that we need them on 16-bit, and that's it. Don't even explain. Just say we need. That's it.
because
I
you
don't.
don't want to explain. You don't
No,
want to
'cause I
explain
don't want to
because you're
explain.
gonna get
No,
arguments.
I don't want to explain.
No, you'll
That's,
get that
that's,
blah 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 parallel compression blah 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 blah. I
no,
mean that's
And
what
none
it's
of
going
that,
to be.
none of that.
yeah.
All you're doing is like jerking off like other like producers. Like, oh yeah, you know about sidechain and fuck.
Exactly,
It's just like
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
name dropping to just jerk off to the name.
Cody, Cody, the thing is that when you are a label or when you are someone who is you're part of the label, you're expecting all those songs, or you're expected to master them within a week, right? Because it has to
Yeah.
go out, and then you get like, you know, I'm the label, I'm asking you, the artist, you know, just send me a 16-bit 44 200K WAV file, right? That's what the label asks. And you, or well, not you specifically, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. You just go like, oh, why? This 24-bit works better because blah blah blah. I'm just in the goddamn file, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it starts to turn you into a
I'm the
dictator,
label.
doesn't it?
I'm the label, and I'm asking you a specific thing, right?
I hate that. I hate that because you got to become a dictator. You got to be like, I don't want to hear your insolence.
Well,
It's a command. Like it gets
actually,
to that point.
actually, you do. And there were some people who were like kind of like, you know, they didn't like it. They were awkward about it. You know, they did agree with what we asked as a label, but they were kind. And I think it's unprofessional. I mean, you know what? I might hate. I don't know. I might hate MP3s, right? But if a label that puts effort in promoting me tells me, you know, we're just gonna put this on streaming, and we just need you know, 190 90 kilobits. You know, I don't like my music like that. But if they actually, that's what they ask. You know, I'm just gonna, if I want to be part of them, I'm just gonna do it. You know, I'm not gonna sit and do science talk with the label boss. You know.
Yeah, I hate that shit, man. I hate that shit so much. Like I said, especially when it's light on the creativity and heavy on the technicality. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand any of that shit. You know,
You
have
can
you
do
any?
that with your friends. You can do that with your friends, but you can't do that with the boss or the guy who works in the label that asks you
I don't even do it with
something. You
friends.
know.
Friends don't talk frequencies.
Hey, I want to sample this. I want to sample this for a song. I want your voiceover in a song like that. No, seriously,
Friends
I'm
don't
serious.
talk frequencies.
Yeah.
But it's true though, man. I do not get off on talking that kind of bullshit. Once people start talking to me on Facebook about that shit, I start going into like that's crazy mode. Like immediately, I'm just like, wow, cool, that's crazy.
Well, you will love the synthwave producers group then.
Oh, yeah, I don't even go in that place, man. Like,
Dude,
ugh. It's just ugh. That place is so. That place is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, and people like.
There's so many Juno 6s laying around.
That's the other, you know what? That's the other thing. People who have hardware synths and still they have shit mixes. I'm like,
Doesn't make
what?
Or shit sound in general, yeah. I mean, yeah, this is totally. I mean, I can't go into the analog debate. I have bad flashbacks about it. You know what I mean? It's just
You know how stupid it would be if like guitar communities argued over acoustics versus electrics.
Oh
yeah.
Jesus.
That would be so stupid, and that's kind of the whole thing. That's like VST versus analog hardware. It's like the
Yeah.
same exact thing. It's just fucking acoustics, though, man. My strings are a lot harder tension. My hands are stronger.
My truck nuts drag when I play the acoustic. Come on. I fuck my truck and then I play my guitar, my acoustic Martin D18 afterwards.
Flat picking,
Come on
motherfucker.
now.
I'm gonna play some Blackberry Blossom.
That's literally where I'm from on Earth, is from a town like that where people are fucking their trucks and playing an acoustic.
Yeah, and it's always shit too. It's always shit.
Wagon wheel, bro, come on!
Oh god damn. I hate that shit.
When they make unplugged versions.
I can't tell you how many times I've had to be a gun for hire and play Wagon Wheel. I'm like, you really want to spend money on that? Okay, that's cool. You know, rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Hey, mother, rock me. You know, god damn. Why is that? Why is that so cool?
I don't know.
It's not.
You guys don't know this yet, but I literally like made it's really bad. But some record label wanted this after I put it out on April Fool's Day. It was whenever I slowed down a bunch of like country songs and like chopped and screwed them.
Yeah.
And it's really bad, but it's really good at the same time.
I feel you.
Bad. It's like trash.
It's so bad it's good. It's so bad it's good, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And that's why he wanted it for his label, and I was like, sure, you can have it. It was a joke, April Fool's joke.
You know what I hate with this kind of country music phase that's going on right now, that it's become universally cool to like Johnny Cash.
Oh,
I don't understand that. I understand. I'm not saying anything's wrong with Johnny Cash. It's not that. It's just that half the people don't even listen to him. Like they don't even.
Yeah, it's like, so what's your favorite song? Man, Ring of Fire, man. I fucking love that shit.
Exactly.
Look,
exactly.
I gotta say that in Europe, country is not rated that. It's not picking up, so I'm in a good position.
No, it shouldn't pick. It's like literally like in the South, like in America, where I'm from. Like Johnny Cash is from Arkansas. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep, it's from the same state as I am, but this state really sucks.
I like Merle Haggard more than I like Johnny Cash. If we're going to talk about AM.
Good thing.
You know what?
Oh, sorry.
Do you know what's picking up in Europe, which is for the last year, which is like really totally random and it's becoming cool to listen to. It's just this
Christian dubstep.
Thankfully not yet.
Oh,
it's in the upcoming third. No, it's down tempo. I mean stuff like
that makes perfect sense.
It's like it's so freaking. I mean, 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago, nobody knew a damn thing. I mean, everybody was listening to well, crap basically, mainstream crap, and then suddenly everybody discovered down tempo and discovered like, you know, this style which is like chill out. It's also got a bit of ethnic in it.
Is there a lot of ultra lounges that are popping up around in Europe too with that type of vibe, or?
Here's the thing, they don't. I mean, this lounge thing was a huge thing in the noughties, right? Not in the last 5 years, but the music is becoming a big thing after the lounge trend. It's ridiculous. But
I like to.
You see people. I like this music, alright. I love it. But you see people who would listen. You know them personally, and they would listen the worst thing you can imagine, right? And then suddenly you see them again the summer afterwards, the next summer, and they're like, you know, they play the record and it's like some chill out world new age stuff, and you're like, what? Do you listen to that? And then you realize that it's becoming popular. It's becoming popular among people who used to listen crap.
I
So
like to put on
it's
some
weird.
deep
I'm saying
house.
it's weird.
I like to listen to some deep house, put on huge playlists of deep house, and make a little love. Now there's nothing wrong with that,
I like
not
the house.
whatsoever.
Do you
Yeah,
like Future House?
I like Future House. In fact, I am a big follower of Future House Records, who
Ooh.
they're a little label. They're bigger than us, but they're a little label that has a little YouTube channel, and I love their stuff, and I love what they release. They do good work, and I dig Future House actually.
Yeah, for
Um,
me it's like a dream that comes true, because I love I used to love deep house a lot, but I couldn't like it's not for the main peak of the night, I mean, obviously it's not like unless it's a deep house party, it's not for the peak of the night. And then these guys took and basically what Future House more or less is like it's got all these deep house elements, but they are designed somehow for the main room. And I don't know how people could actually do it, but it's like a dream come true, because you're now you're like, oh, I can like bring the deep house element like into the main room and smashing, it's
yeah,
really
I
cool.
like it. I really dig it a lot. But I mean, I like house music. Period. I like any kind of
Yeah,
house,
I
really.
like I like music.
Um, I went through kind of a little acid revival house thing over the summer, but now I don't listen to any anymore. But yeah, I dig all that shit, man. There's something about a good house groove that just, feels so good, feels so transcendent.
You love it, yeah.
I
Feel it.
love.
I feel that.
Do you feel it?
Yeah. Do you feel
I
the
just sent
love?
it. I just sent it again. Did you feel that?
Yeah. How did you do
That's over
that?
the
How do you
astral
do it? How
projection.
you do that?
Astral projection.
Oh,
It's true.
that boy.
I
That
just,
boy knows how to astral project.
hell yeah. I got those demons in my semen.
Demons in your semen.
That's just a quote from some Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've got some devils in my dick and some demons in my semen. I got stopped by a lady cop in my automobile. That was a great album. Blood
Which one
Sugar
was it?
Sex.
I knew it was that. I knew it was gonna be blood.
Yeah.
Blood. What is it? Sex
Mhm.
magic.
Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
That was a
missed
good
one of the
album.
elements. Yeah, it was.
It was a
Flea,
good one.
ripping up the bass. He's shredding. Boom, boom, bam, boom. Like, I mean, yeah.
Don't you know Flea's so overrated? What are you talking about?
I know.
All he does is slap the bass.
I know.
That's all he does. Shit. Listen to some Paco,
Yeah,
whatever.
dude.
Jaco Pastorius.
Jaco.
Yeah, Paco.
Paco. Yeah, Tupac's cousin. He's a bassist. Paco.
Hell yeah. You know what? Do for Love is one of the best samples ever in my entire life. I love that. Boom, 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 boom. Nice.
That
You want,
was fine.
You
what?
remind me of the hip hop scene now, the Greek hip hop scene that I used to like make productions when I was in high school in Greece, right?
Mhm.
And in Greece, there's Greek hip hop, obviously, and there's which is more like the European hip hop in general. I mean, it's very similar to French hip hop and all that.
So
But
do they rap about like minotaurs and things like that, or is it just
I knew you were gonna say that.
Hang on. Do they
You always
rap,
do. You always do. He always does say that.
do they
That
rap about feta? Because feta is honestly
feta is
that's my
amazing.
favorite cheese. And
Greek food is fucking amazing.
Well,
It
yeah,
really is. I'm a
of course.
huge fan of Greek food.
But I mean, I eat pizza and that has a fuck ton of cheese and that
I'm glad you
feta.
guys say that. I'm glad you guys say that because I'm gonna throw this podcast to my girlfriend afterwards. Which takes the piss out of me all the time because I cook Greek all the time, and she's British, by the way, and they have horrible food, it's not a secret.
Do they? I mean, I think there's something home style about their cooking, though, right? I mean, that's really what it is. It's like
Oh,
it's the same thing for like country food in America. It's
yeah.
it's
You
just
see,
real common.
the thing is that I tried, I've kind of like I try to be more accurate and objective as I can, right? they've got interesting cuisine, but the thing is that, well, the traditional cuisine is very interesting, right? But there's no imagination. That's what I don't like. I mean, if you look at the Mediterranean cuisine, right? I mean, it's like each food is like 100 different spices in there, and they have to be in a certain amount and all. I mean, it's like a science, you know. It's like chemistry.
You
And
Mediterranean people in cooking, it's
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. We
You
are.
people think that you just rule the world with that cooking,
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah.
No, I love
Not
Mediterranean food.
not just cooking, my friend. Greece invented everything. Greece invented the condom, and
Did you invent the condom? That's awesome.
yeah, we invented the condom. We invented VSTs. I had 2,000 years before people were having VSTs. We invented the first VST. It was it was used air. It used air that created electrical static currents, and they would produce sound.
Did you know that the Greeks invented democracy?
No, I thought the Americans did.
We just made it
have you
fucking better.
Yeah,
And that's
have you
what
seen
we
that?
we just
Have you
put
seen
flames
that?
on it.
we just put. We put Tito Ortiz flames all over the bitch.
Have you seen that thing?
Shit.
Look. Greeks. When it comes to like culture, their culture, and Greeks are stupid. All right. I remember this thing like not long ago that I don't remember who it was. Somebody from the Congress, your Congress, came out and said that America was the first country that basically like had democracy, and then suddenly you had a whole nation, the Greeks, right, 11 million people in some corner, in some random corner on the planet, had 11 million Greek people shouting and being outraged that an
But no
American
one
person.
heard. But no one heard
Yeah,
because
No,
we
because
no one
invented
heard.
it.
CNN and Fox News, they don't care.
We, you know what though?
No, it was hilarious though because everybody. I mean, they made such a big fucking deal about it. I mean, I just woke up every morning. I'm like tired. I just can't be bothered with my life as usual. Just turn on the TV and all I see is like breaking news. Some American guy dared to claim that Americans invented democracy, not us Greeks. I mean, like, fuck me. It was hilarious, though. I mean, I gotta say, it was hilarious. They make such a big deal about out of these things. I mean, literally anything. I mean, you have you seen the European? No, it was the German magazine that had this. They had the statue of the Aphrodite, but they had her doing this. Do you remember that? Did you guys catch that in
No,
America?
I caught none of that.
When the crisis started, the crisis started of the euro, and we were, Greece and Germany are like, they're not getting along very well. So a German newspaper or a German magazine, I'm not sure what it was, took the statue of the Aphrodite, Venus, Venus de Milo. They took the statue and they just, photoshopped a hand like that, and that was listen, I'm sure, and that was and that
Universal motion.
and that was that was the front. That was the front cover, right? And then again, exactly the same story. I just wake up. I can't be bothered with anything. I just turn on the TV on to see what's going on, and I just see, all the channels that are breaking news. They did this to our statue and blah blah, and they
So
mock the Greek civilization.
when that happened, so walk me through this, because when that happened, did 300 of you stand against the millions of Germans that were coming after you, and were you able to stop the entire invading horde of Germans?
How come
I heard it. I heard it was only 300 people.
we will stand there?
This is Sparta.
Seriously though, I mean, Greeks and their culture, their history has this thing. I mean, if you do the slightest thing, if you say the slightest thing about Greece that does not abide by this ideal the average Greek person has in their mind about their history, they're just gonna go insane. And we have this other thing with Italians, because Romans and Italians have a similar culture. We have this thing about who did what, and who invented what, and it's this constant fight, but who's the better. It's also stupid though.
I don't
Because
know.
they
I
make
think you guys had the cooler culture. I think.
Definitely, way
I
more.
think so. Yeah.
look the thing
Yeah,
is
way more history.
the thing is that well, I mean, it's undubtable that Greeks came first in the whole architecture and this. type of, like, you know, drama and comedy. I mean, Greeks came first. By the time this happened, the Romans were not Romans yet. I mean, they were like, you know, they were far behind this stage of civilization, right? Then the Romans came, and they kind of assimilated the Greek culture into their own, and they actually expanded it. I mean, all these things you see that the Romans actually built, and the statues they created. I mean, they basically expanded a lot on the Greek, even their alphabet and everything. I mean, everything is expanded in the language. Everything is expanded on the Greek language, you know. But people, yeah, I mean, people, like, I'm in Britain now, right? And people don't know anything about Greece in general. I don't know why, but they just don't know anything about Greece. I mean, when you're in Germany, because I used to live in Germany as well, right? When I used to live in Berlin, I mean, I find that German people, the average German person, knows a lot about Greece, you know, and its history. And now I'm in Britain, and they don't know anything. And apparently, in schools, they get taught everything that Greeks did, they get taught that the Romans did. And you know why this
Oh.
is, right?
Well,
Because
yeah, because
the Romans
they were
actually, yeah,
colonized. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And the Romans actually influenced Britain in a positive way. You know, I mean, they brought lots of things. They brought aqueducts. They brought, like, you know, a city planning. You know, civil engineering. They brought all these things in Britain. There was no such thing, and they brought it in Britain. And
Well,
they,
they
they take
also
over. They take over.
killed off all the fairies. They killed them all off. Like they're extinct now. There's no more fairies. Same thing for leprechauns.
Dragons
You
are
know why?
fun.
You know why there? You know why there are no fairies? Because you don't believe in them. And just now,
I
just
believe,
now, just
motherfucker. I
now,
believe.
just now, a fairy died. You killed a fairy right now. You're a murderer.
No, I'll clap my hands, motherfucker. Revive in the name of Jesus. You get up now. I rebuke you, Satan.
Oh, by the way, the funny coincidence today is in Greece is they celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. So there you go. Divine intervention came through your head, and you just said that.
Exactly. I know. And
Resurrection.
I'm going to tell you right now. I rebuke you, Satan, and all of your minions, all spirits of alcoholism and domestic violence. I rebuke you right now. These two boys right here are going to go back into their life, and you're going to touch them with the anointing of the blood of the Lamb. And I want you guys to know right now, you're about to feel abundance.
I feel it.
You're about to feel abundance.
I feel it through my hands.
That's right. Because we are standing on holy ground. We are standing. It's true, though.
Alright, yeah. Bless.
I'm looking for some speaking in tongues. Anybody want to show some gifts of the Spirit? He said, "For I am with you. I am the Lord thy God." I can interpret. I know how to do this.
Funny story is, one of my friends gave me the nickname God once. It's a true story.
God wants?
No, it's just God.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Ah.
and people call me God.
Because you're that good.
Well, that was like, wasn't that the old vernacular of, like, African American vernacular from, like, what, the 70s or 80s or something like that? Or no, it was like late 80s, early 90s, right? They called each other God. That was a kind of in the speech for a while.
That's interesting.
I was a God for once, and then I'm not a God anymore. But I
You
was.
became Satan.
Did you give it up?
I
Did you give it up for love?
I don't know. I feel like I became more of a Buddhist than I became anything.
I feel you.
Yeah.
You gave up your
I just am, dude. That's all.
You just are.
Yeah, I just exist. Whatever.
All life is suffering. It's all dukkha. It's okay.
It can be. It's up to you. It's up to you.
It's not up to me. It was
Oh,
taken
shit.
away.
I'm a nihilist. I'm a
It was
nihilist.
stolen. My
Soul
will's
taken
been
away from me.
stolen.
My
See-
soul.
So yeah, I think when's the next release coming out for VHS Dreams? By the way, what's up with this? When's this coming out? You said it was going to be acid.
Yeah,
Good.
it's gonna be acid house inspired. It's gonna be a mixture of 80s and acid house. You know, and like, I mean, the KLF, that band, the KLF, are my biggest influence for it. the album is gonna be like, it's gonna include crowd samples, like, you know, it's gonna be like a fake live album. I'm gonna market it as a fake live album. That's what I'm gonna do.
Are
Nice.
you gonna call it VHS Alive?
Something, no, yeah, something like this. I think it's gonna like VHS Live in the 12th planet or something. I mean,
Nice.
the theme is that the theme is about it's got about esoterica and like secret societies and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's
You were
supposed
talking
to
about
be
this.
it's supposed to be a live performance of mine on the planet Nibiru. Actually, that's the thing.
And what do you think? What is your opinion on the planet Nibiru? Do you think it's going to crash into this planet?
I actually bought a book about all that stuff. It's very big, and it kind of compiles all the bibliography that exists on the matter, right? I think most of it's bollocks, but but I find it fascinating as a story, you know, as a mythology, if you want to call it like that. And I like how some people have tried to actually merge it with um, Illuminati and all that. I don't know. You know, they make everything like a mash in their head, and yeah,
From Deep Web Podcast. Is there audio now?
yeah.
Okay, cool. I couldn't hear
Oh,
for a while.
you couldn't hear me?
No, I
Oh, I
couldn't
just.
hear at all. I
Oh,
was
okay.
about.
Yeah, and
So yeah,
I'm gonna brand this as a fake live album. I mean, the live that I never get to do. It's gonna have live. I mean, it's gonna have like people cheering and stuff like. Oh, and it's gonna evolve. Can you hear me?
I can hear
Yes,
you.
I can hear
Okay.
you.
It's gonna involve a lot of deliberate plagiarism.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I'm I'm digging that. I'm digging that a lot. I really look forward to another one because the last LP you put out was, like I said, it was seminal. It really was. It
Thanks.
was seminal for synthwave. I thought it was, and I did like how it divided people.
I think I lost you.
I think so too. I think he just that happened to me just a second, like literally just happened to
Do
me.
you think? Yeah, I just
I
thought
think I
America
think
got bombarded for a while by.
yeah, I think Google Hangouts is just kind of like they're kick like there's too many people on it or some shit. I don't fucking know, but
You think so? Because we did a Skype conference the other
yeah,
day with two other guys, and it went really smoothly, you know.
yeah. I feel like
Uh,
yeah, Skype is that's what I normally that's what I used last time, but this is my first hangout at Google Hangouts, so whatever.
It's
yeah,
your first time
the only one
involved.
I have done is with John. I haven't done anything else with other guys. I mean, I don't I want to do this with fans actually, right?
Hmm.
But I just don't know how to set this whole thing up. I got to ask him one day. I just
It's not.
don't know it.
It's not
Yeah.
hard at all. You can just you just go ahead and go
How
onto
can
YouTube
how
and let it
yeah
in.
how can random people join though? I mean I want to talk like you do now, and I want random people to join with video. You know, like me and Kobe are joining right now. Like,
I
can
just,
random
you know,
people?
I copy and paste the link to the actual
Oh,
window and
I
send it.
see.
I
I'm gonna
try
paste
the
that. I'm
yeah,
gonna
try
paste it in
the
my page.
when you do
It's gonna be like
the
crash.
invite
You know, everybody's gonna come in, and it's gonna have like you're gonna have like 10 million people, you know, shouting at the same time.
when you um when you do the invite, it's spotty. It doesn't. It sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does.
All right.
But if you send the actual link to everyone and just let them get in on their
Yeah,
own, like
yeah,
that works the best.
that's what I'm gonna do actually. Yeah, I just wanted to say about you were saying something about my album, and I liked it because it massages my ego. So can you keep going?
No, I was
Can you keep going?
just saying that it. I like the fact that it was controversial in some way. I like that.
Was it though? I mean, was it controversial? Because I lost fans. I'm telling you, from all my heart, right? I lost fans that day. The day the album went out, I just lost fans immediately. But I gained much more, of course, in the long run. But
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like that principle of clothes. You know, if you have a bunch of clothes that don't fit you or you don't like anymore, and you want new clothes, like you get rid of the clothes that you have, and then like you have this vacuum, and it gets filled up pretty quick. And that's the thing, man. You lost fans that only liked you because you did what they wanted you to do, but you gained
Yeah.
fans that liked you for who you really were.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah. I remember we were talking about this with Ryan, the guy who has future 80s, and I was like nervous, you know, at first, because like I was I remember telling to him in chat something along the lines of like, you know, I told you people won't like it, because we were talking about it before it was out, and I was telling him like something like I told you people won't like it, you know, because they just don't like dance music. I thought they just don't like dance music to be injected into or modern elements to be injected into synthwave, you know. And he was like, just wait, you know. And then after a week, I just saw. I mean, I remember I saw my Facebook likes skyrocketing, right? And I'm like, wow, you know, what the hell, you know, what happened? And it turns out that the album has actually brought fans who were coming in, and they would, you know, they would buy the album, and they would actually go and like my SoundCloud, my Twitter, my Facebook, you know, they were converted into fans, and I'm really happy this happened, you know, because Trans Am was supposed to be, by the way, I don't know if you can see it.
There it is.
Hey!
Shameless promotion over here.
Oh, I love it. It's
Go
great.
buy it, everyone. Everyone who sees this live, go buy it. You know, I don't care if you like the music. I just care about you buying. Uh, yeah, just buy it. That's all I care about. Um, what was I saying before that? Oh yeah, and yeah, it was a thing that uh, I found myself actually wanting to make this, but suppressing myself and keeping myself back. And I was like, oh, okay, they're not gonna like this, so I should stick with synthwave. And I was actually like suppressing myself, and then I thought, you know, fuck it, you know, I just want to do this, you know, I just want to. You've heard Miami 2K15, right? The song.
Yes.
It's a house track basically, more or less. That is part house track. I mean, I was doing that, and I was like, no, it's too modern, you know. And I was doing that for a long time, and then I thought, you know, fuck it, you know, I'm just do it whatever I like it, and just put it in the album, you know. And if it upsets people, well, so be it, you know.
It's
You
my
should.
favorite track off that album. Like I like it a lot.
Thanks. My personal favorite is Trance AM, which is the
Oh well,
middle
yeah,
track.
of
I mean,
course.
you know, the track with the slap bass.
Mhm.
That track, I started making it 7 years ago, actually.
Whoa.
I didn't continuously like work on it, obviously, right? It's like on and off. I just started making it, and then so when I actually started revisiting old tracks to revamp them for the album, right? I found this track, right, and I had like I think I had like, I don't know, 11 or 12 different mixdowns and versions of it. You know, I got completely lost. I haven't seen this project for 3 years, right? So I just went there and started listening to each version, and I'm like, which one is the best? And I ended up doing one version, right, which you heard. And now I don't know if you noticed, but the new version is that the remastered version of the album. The album is now out on a remastered edition, and for the remastered edition, I went back to the actual original, the first draft I had, and I worked my way from there. For the because I wasn't, you know, I'm a perfectionist, and I wasn't happy with the way it turned out. I mean, this track specifically, because during the production process and the mastering process, it lost its I don't know, it had a originally it had a character of like, you know, I'm just sitting 4 o'clock at night and I'm just making a track, you know. And after the overproduction process, that character was lost, and
Mhm.
that's how it came out. That's how it came out on Trans Am. So now that I did the remaster, I went back to the first draft, and I worked that one, and yeah, I hope people like it. I don't know.
Like I
Definitely.
said, I think it was a great statement. It was.
Mhm.
I felt my honest opinion. I think it was a seminal release. I think it should be a very influential thing. I felt that it was a bit timid with the message. I think your next
Timid.
release should
What is
probably be
timid?
more aggressive. Well, I didn't say that it was timid. I didn't think that the music was timid at all. what
Okay,
I
no, no,
mean is,
no. I just meant I didn't know what the word timid means,
oh,
but
timid.
yeah, I just googled it. It's okay. I just googled it. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And the the reason for that is that I held myself back. Now I
Yeah, yeah,
regret
yeah.
about I regret about that because I wanted to like I just don't want to smash people's faces, with something that is completely unrelated to my previous work. So
yeah.
I thought
I can see,
I'm
you
gonna
know.
take them there step by step. I'm gonna take them there step by step. That's the whole point. And the next album that's coming out, the Fake Live album, it's actually gonna be what I really wanted Tarzan to be, which
So
is yeah. Tell me.
I have a personal question for you. Not personal, but I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Um, are you at war with VHS Glitch for
No.
SEO? No, I don't mean like as an artist to artist. I mean for search engine optimization. Are you? Because I mean, if you put in VHS, right, you're gonna get,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna get Glitch and Dreams.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if you, how's that work? I mean, for
Yeah.
me, like it would drive me mad. It would drive
Yeah.
me mad. I would be
I
trying to like
don't mind.
SEO everything.
I don't mind at all because he makes a totally different type of music and he has a totally different type of image than I do,
Yeah,
right? So
sure, sure. It's all
I mean,
dark synth.
yeah, I don't think a person can mistake one for the other. And for example, there is also a band, an Australian band, which is makes like well indie rock, and it's called VHS Dream without the S. They existed before me, right?
Mhm.
And I sometimes I get accidentally tagged in some rock groups and stuff, and I don't know what they are, and I go there and I realize that they meant to tag the other group. I mean, and they tag me by accident. I mean, that can be frustrating to the group, I guess, not to me.
Right.
So if somebody wants to tag me and they I don't know, the tag glitch instead. But this has never happened. I mean, because we're totally different in the style we make. Uh, the only thing I don't like about VHS glitch is the trickery he pulls into some marketing style. I mean, I have
Trickery?
this trickery. I don't know any other word to use. I mean,
Oh no,
I
no,
have this.
I'm not attacking your word. I just mean like
Uh,
what do you mean by trickery? Like for specifically with what you're
Another thing,
saying.
all this scheme that his government is chasing him down, and he has to pay thousands of dollars, and then we need to go rush and buy his album because his government is looking for him and stuff. I mean, and
What?
people were asking, people
What
were
government
asking.
is that?
Yeah, that's what everybody asked. Everybody in the comments, like 100 people asking, and he replied, "I can't tell you which country I'm living in because I need to keep my privacy." I mean, what the hell, dude? And then the thing is that every time this happened, people told me that, right? I only witnessed one case of that, but the other cases people told me. I got this from other people. He just deleted those posts after a while. Just
Right.
they were gone. I mean,
Strange.
all these things to me, all these things like you're trying just to pull a fast one on people, just to go grab some sales. That's how it looks up to me. I cannot imagine any other reason why you would do that.
That's
But
so
I have, yeah,
that's so
but
strange.
I think it's just my opinion. I might be wrong, but my opinion is that he actually does this as a kind of a marketing scheme, and I think it's unethical. I might be wrong,
Do you,
but
okay,
but the
wait,
thing,
so,
but the thing
so
is, the thing is
you
that
you
I have defended VHS Glitz in many discussions. I mean, people were slamming him for having fake likes on Facebook, and I told them that it's definitely not. He's not having fake likes. I mean, and I stand by that. His likes, his Facebook likes are real, and his SoundCloud, and everything. I believe they are real. So I actually defended him on many occasions. But regarding this marketing con tricks, that I cannot defend him on that. I'm against him on that.
wait, but okay, so you think that it's unethical for him to lie, essentially is what you're saying, like for advertising or for
To
promotional
pull
reasons.
con tricks of that nature. I mean, uh, I don't care if he
I
lies about superficial stuff, but I think it's not a nice way to treat people, like your
I
fans. I don't know.
I absolutely am amused by that idea that he did that. That's
I'm
that's
amused. I'm
that's
amused too.
hilarious. That's
No,
great.
I'm
But
amused
that's
too. I mean,
brilliant if you think about it. That's
no, it
completely
is
brilliant.
marketing wise. It's brilliant.
That's
No,
brilliant.
It is. Marketing is amazingly brilliant. But here's the thing, right? I mean, I can go and say, hey, you know what? I got cancer, all right? I got cancer and I'm gonna die in a year. So please donate, even
But
though I
that's
don't
not
have the cancer.
but that's
I mean,
not brilliant because you have an expiration date and then you can't be alive after that.
well, I can say, all right, I can say that my computer has broke down and I'm gonna crowdfund my new computer, even though my computer hasn't broke down. I mean, is it brilliant marketing wise? It
Now
is.
that's pretty clever. That is. So you're just saying
But it's
that
not. But I
you're just
wouldn't do
saying
that because I wouldn't like to be treated like that. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't feel nice doing that. That's
so
the
you're
only
just
thing.
saying he's a little too black hat for you, like when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, his whole thing. He's very cryptic. I
I
mean,
feel.
nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows where he lives. Apparently, uh, I mean, I don't care where he lives. I mean, but when he says, "Oh, my country is doing this and that, and my country is chasing me down," everybody was like, "What the fuck? Which country is that? Paraguay? You know?" and yeah, I mean, he was saying that his country is actually trying to impose huge taxes on him for him having a Redbubble account. I mean, this doesn't
Wow.
happen.
What?
This doesn't happen. It's a lie. And I said that. I said, "What? Which is your country?" And he just says, "I'm not. I'm not. I can't say because I'd like to keep my privacy." Okay, so I know you're living in Germany. Am I gonna come knock your door or what? I mean, it's ridiculous. I just don't like that. I think it's
Unless
too.
he lived in like if he lived in like Belize or something like that, maybe it would be believable. You
But
have to be like real
I would
corrupt
believe
government.
him if he told me. I would believe him if he told me where he lives. And then I would immediately just Google and see if what he says about his country is actually true. But he knew people would do that, so he didn't say. I mean, it's obvious.
But
But what do you mean?
you were just saying about an hour ago that you want to come to people's houses and watch them sleep. So right here is a complete security problem. He
All right,
doesn't.
so he was scared of me. That's what you're saying.
I don't know
If,
what I'm
if,
saying.
if that's the case, I understand. I apologize.
But yeah, I mean
I can be a
that's.
creep I can be a creep sometimes. Maybe ask too much information of him. No, the thing is that for a while people actually thought that me and VHS Glitch have a competition. Which has
Mm.
never happened. Which will never. I mean, I've never talked to him personally, for example. I don't
Well,
even
I mean,
know him. He doesn't
you
know
couldn't
me.
compare like Trans Am to evil technology. You
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
compare them. They're
exactly.
two different apples and oranges. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have Evil Technology. I have bought this album. Back in the day when he was still unknown back then. I actually bought that album. I was unknown as well, but totally unknown, and I bought this album. Yeah.
I was
Uh,
going to be reviewing his album for the next World's Most Dangerous Show and interviewing him, actually.
but that's interesting. Yeah, but the thing is that, you know what? I bet he's not gonna agree. Not because he doesn't want to be interviewed, but he doesn't want to show his face.
No,
That is,
it was back in the day. That was going to be the next episode before the
but
whole show got
what?
retired.
And he was gonna show his face.
I don't know if he was going to show his face or not. It's all hazy right now in my memory, so I could be misspeaking a little bit, but the idea is right. Yeah, I'd said, but here's the thing: it was more like it was transactional. It was if I review his
Yeah,
album, then
he's
maybe
gonna
he'll
show
do an
up. Yeah,
interview.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe he'll
No,
do
no.
one.
The
But I
thing
had to do it first.
the thing is that a lot of people make fun of me, and a lot of people. I mean, like Marco did when I was in the interview with Marco, and he said, "So what's next for VHS Glitch?" And he did it on purpose, obviously. I mean, I'm getting a lot of that, but I don't mind because he's just totally different. I mean, the way he looks, the way the music is, the way the whole thing is, it's just totally different from VHS Dreams. So there's no way people are actually gonna confuse VHS Glitch with VHS Dreams. So I'm not worried about that.
I feel.
I
Yeah,
would love, I would love to collaborate with him for a single track.
I would like to have him on the podcast. I mean, he wouldn't have to show his face or anything. I would like to
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
his side of things. There was a bit of skerfuffle with with
What?
Surgery Head, was a previous
Oh,
guest.
I saw that. I actually commented about this con thing. I said no. I commented there. I went there and left a comment about that.
I laughed because it was for me. It was hilarious. I thought it was like a shoot. He was like shooting on VHS Glitch, like a
It
wrestling
was
shoot.
fun. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it came out of nowhere, didn't it? I mean,
Some people took a lot of offense to that. I noticed.
but those,
Um,
yeah, but those people were like, I don't know. I don't know.
no, I feel what you're saying. But I honestly thought it was half-hearted. I didn't think it was a, I may be wrong. I don't know, but
What I would
uh,
like, right? What I would like is like I would like to collaborate with. I would like to make a track with VHS Glitch, VHS Dreams VS versus VHS Glitch, like they did in house music. If you remember that, they do
man,
versus
I
thing.
have been trying to
And
do
the
that
song and the song
idea.
and the song could be called like Glitch Dreams or something. I mean, it would be crazy. Think about it: VHS Dreams or VHS Glitch if you want versus VHS Dream, and the song Glitch Dreams or VHS and Glitch or whatever. I mean, it would be kick ass with. But the thing is that I have a feeling that this guy might hate me because. Well, I don't know. At first, people were talking and making fun about this, and they were asking me, in synthetics and all that, like, oh, what's going on with VHS Geeks? Do you mind that he has the same name and all? He never made any comment on that, any public comment on that. And then people were like, I was asking people who, in my page, who they want me to collaborate with, and lots of people were actually commenting VHS Geeks, and they were tagging him, and he didn't even like their post, or didn't even like as if he
You
wasn't
should
there. And
you
then
should
and then
collaborate
and
with him.
here it comes. And then the final thing comes that one day I meet him in a common discussion. I'm not sure which group it was. I think it was Synthetics again, right? And I hover over his name, and I notice that he has deleted me from a friend out of nowhere. So I'm like, okay, this guy. I think he probably dislikes me, which is cool because a lot of people dislike me, and that's also cool. Uh, but yeah, I just I mean I lost all hope about the collaboration back then. But I would do that. I mean I would let someone else bring this collaboration on. Like
I feel you.
I would let Synthetics take an initiative or someone and say, well, let's bring these two artists together and let's have them make a single and then let's release it on our label, whichever
You
label
should
that might be. You can do that
you should
actually with your
call it
label.
Betamax. That's what it should be called. You should get together with him and call it Betamax. So okay, Cody, do you have any? I'm not saying that VHS Glitch is a rival, but we were just talking about something similar to that. Do you have any rivals in the scene or anything like that?
Yeah,
Oh.
he has. I know which one, but I'm not gonna say.
Well, I did have some beef. Who are you talking about? Just
you
say it.
know, you know who I'm talking about. Come on.
Just say
Let's talk
it.
some beef. Where is the beef? Where's the
No,
beef? Come on.
there was
Death.
some beef,
About
but
death.
me and
Come.
the person that started it kind of was just like chill with me after we talked about playing a show in Chicago together actually, and he's first off said like PZA hates me, and I was like, I don't hate you. You're posting shit on my SoundCloud telling people not to support me.
Your
So
SoundCloud.
yeah, he was
Wow.
posting shit on there.
Well,
So then
that's heavy. Maybe we're
Man,
not talking about the same person. Maybe we're not
yeah.
talking about the same
Oh,
person.
okay. Well,
that's invasive. That's
well,
invasive.
Maybe
what I'm
maybe I know
saying,
someone who has a beef with you and you don't know.
maybe, but it isn't. I don't. I
Tell us
don't.
your story. Tell us
Yeah.
your story. I want to
Well,
hear
drop the
it.
beef, Betamax. Let's do it. What do we got?
I said already. It was Jeff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
exactly. You got it right. Yeah, it's exactly the same
I thought
person.
you had a public showdown once.
Yeah, it was like posted in the Vape Council as like one of the like who has the best beef right now or some shit. But
Wow.
no, I did have some beef with Vapor, but I mean we settled that shit. So I mean I don't hate him or anything. I just
Yeah, I mean he's cool. He's cool. He's cool. Yeah, I just remember that you guys had this public thing. I had a very brief showdown with VHS logos. Do you know that?
yeah I know yeah
But it's like I like the guy, and we reconciled, and he's a great guy. I really have respect for him. I love the guy.
yeah
But we had a tiny beef because I sampled I heard the song I heard the song he had. I don't remember the name, but he had sampled a song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the sound. I went and listened to the original one, and I liked it, so I sampled the same song. I do this very often, by the way. I mean, I just think that two people can sample the same song, you know. So what?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you do that legally speaking, you know, you can sample the song, I can sample the same song, you know, legally speaking, even it doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah.
I sampled that, and then he just, you know, I released that song on a compilation, and then he shows up like months afterwards. I don't know how he probably discovered the song, and he comes to me and he just posts on my Twitter and he says, "What is this? VHS remix of my song?" And I'm like, "No, I just sampled the same track, you know." And he's like, "Yeah, but you heard it from me first." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, so you just want me to say it? Yeah, you were first there." And then he says, "Okay, we should call it VHS Dreams Remix." And I'm like, "No." You know, I mean, and yeah, we started this little thing there, and well, to be honest, he started it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then we continued on chat, and we just talk on chat, and I'm like, you know, dude, that's what I do. When I hear a song and it's got a cool sample, and I like the sample, I'm gonna sample the same song in my song, you know. That's how it goes.
How
Big deal. And
how
he was,
weird.
yeah. The thing is that he was upset because I realized that later, and we reconciled. But he was upset because he made a connection in his head that because he's called VHS Logos and I'm called VHS Dreams, which is similar. And then not only that, but I also go and sample something he has already sampled, and then it's also vaporwave as well. He made this connection in his head that I'm just like after him, you know, after ripping off his songs, you know.
What? That's weird.
I mean, you know, because there were too many, you know, similar things there. And he probably thought, you know, okay, this guy has a similar name, and he
Mm-hmm.
makes vaporwave, and now he samples my vaporwave track for his own vaporwave. I mean, you know, I understand that. I understand that, but it wasn't made clear from the start. So at the start, I thought, oh my God, what an asshole, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then we talked with each other, and he's a great guy. I love this guy, and yeah, and we reconciled. And I'm actually thinking of asking him to make a track for the Summer Vapors. I haven't done
Nice.
this yet.
Nice, nice.
If he finds out this through the interview, it would be nice. You know, it was fun. It was fun. I hate beefs though. I mean, I have
They're,
what other
they're
beef
not.
do you remember any other beefs I had? Because I had so many that I can't remember. You know, I think Jonathan might because Jonathan is more close into the synthwave scene, and that's where I had the beefs. You know. Oh, I had a beef with.
You have a beef with Tangerine Dream? I knew it.
Oh,
Oh my!
I
Oh
have,
my!
you know, I
You
have
have,
like no
yeah.
beef with anyone. I think I have secret
You
enemies,
do
but I don't.
spark.
I
You spark the fire, but yeah, you start the fire, but it never escalates as much as to be considered a beef. Um,
No. People were a couple
I
people rose
didn't
up.
even want beef. I was just kind of protecting my home turf.
I for real.
yeah, it's the same. It's the same with me. I mean, I had some people, right, that I know it's funny, but they started hating on me because they hated already on Karate King, right? And I did an interview on Karate King.
Talking about money.
So
You were talking about money. Talking about making some
consequently,
money, and people went off on you. They went crazy.
consequently, as a consequence, and because this was on Karate King, they actually like started like taking firing shots at me as well. And the thing that infuriated them is because I said that Kung Fury is not gonna actually help anybody, especially producer, random producer number,
But
whatever.
it
The
did.
thing is,
But it did.
when they heard, oh shut up. It's so funny though because these people, right? I mean, nobody knows who they are, and nobody knows if they even make music. You know, they just jump out of nowhere and they just start talking trash on a personal level. I mean, I didn't have any single person coming to me and saying, "Why? You know what? Kung Fury is gonna help the scene because of this and this and that." I didn't have a single person. Everybody was like, "Oh, you're such an asshole. You know, how can you say that? You're arrogant." You know, that's what I have.
I I went on to the synthetics. This is a while back. I went on to the synthetics group on Facebook, and I posted a question to the female demographic,
Yeah.
on there because I was wanting to do some market research. So I wanted to figure out what artists that female fans were listening to. What kind of synthwave were they getting
That seems
into?
very interesting, though. I'd like to hear the
So,
results.
well, this is the result.
Here it comes. Here it
I went
comes.
on there and I posted that, and then I had a few people get on there that were trying to argue with me that I was sexist for doing that. No women were saying that. It was all guys that were saying it. But because of assuming that there was some quality to female fans that would be different or separate
Are you
from
telling me?
male
Are you
fans.
telling me? Are you telling me that synthwave producers told someone that is sexist? That's what you're telling me. Because I
Yeah, yeah,
find
yeah.
this really hilarious, if you ask me.
Yeah, that happened, man. That happened. I had to kind of like, parry a couple of attacks on me on that one, and it was really stupid because I actually wasn't assuming anything. I was completely prepared to accept if the data said that they listened to the exact qualities that all these guys over here are listening to. I was willing to accept that as real if it proved to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I actually had females comment in there, and they told me
We're
what they
cool.
thought.
They were cool,
But
exactly.
I had to deal with all that though. It was some crazy stuff. It was weird.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Music.
I would say that this might even happen because they didn't like you specifically. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
they do that, and the thing is that nobody actually bothers to even like detract our, I don't know, our arguments, our music. Or I mean, I've never had a person telling me, you know what, I don't like your music because of this and this and that. But I have just a moment. Yeah, yeah, I'm on live, and millions of people are watching me right now in America.
Billions,
Billions,
Billions.
billions.
We're
billions.
talking billions.
I'm sorry. We have, okay, thanks.
This is
See
X
ya.
Factor type stuff.
Sorry, sorry,
That's
my
okay.
girlfriend. I left her
Well,
alone
here's the thing.
tonight.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up anyways. It's been two and a
Yeah.
half hours. It's been a really great conversation actually with all you
Yeah, it's
guys.
been fun.
I would love for you guys to be recurring guests on the podcast. I think you'll be a
I'm
favorite.
down.
Sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
me too, me too. As long as you've got a third person that we can slam on, and make
Exactly.
fun of him. I mean,
Good. Let's get it. We'll roast them.
Awesome. Well, everybody, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Cody, it's always a pleasure. George, it's always a pleasure. Go on down to the deepweblabel.bandcamp.com and find many products from our wares that we're selling, including spices like turmeric.
Yeah.
And check out Crystal Bear's EP. And if you really dig it, we're about to release a pre-release for the Oberon Criterion Collection limited edition cassette. And when we're releasing that, it's going to be a full LP sized cassette with the EP on top of it. It's a very cool find. Check it out. And if you were there and you like you some dark music, get Achromatic Residue's album Melatonin Melodies on cassette tape. Now, it's been an amazing conversation, everyone.
Hell yeah, it has.
people are jumping in our rooms. I think it's time. I think it's time we just stop doing this and just go home.
So, I will talk to you guys later. It's
All
been an
right.
amazing
I love you
podcast.
all.
Take it easy, everybody,
I love you.
and
See you guys.
we will take it easy.
I love you.